today? Well, there have been some discoveries, rumors,
I'm interested.
Speculation.
I'm listening.
About maybe some upcoming new Nintendo hardware.
Oh, here we go.
We haven't seen some things around the speculation that a Switch 2 Lite might be coming. So we thought we'd talk about it. We want to talk about, one, whether or not we think this is a potential.
Yeah.
And then we also want to look back at when we launched the Switch Lite. You also launched the 2DS.
Sure did.
And talk a little bit about, like, what is Nintendo's mindset? When do they feel like it's the right time to introduce these kinds of new hardware into the market?
Yeah, it is interesting.
Very interesting.
I don't know what to call it. I wouldn't call it a leak. Maybe it's more of a discovery.
Yeah.
And when this first came out, I was like, oh, whatever. Like this will come and go. But then I kind of started thinking about it. I was like, wait, there could be something interesting here. So
right.
We're gonna get into that.
We're gonna dig into it. I think our thoughts might surprise you, though. What our final conclusion is. Might surprise some of you.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yes, dramatic pause.
Yes.
Thank you to our amazing, wonderful Patreon family.
As always.
You are growing in numbers.
Oh my goodness.
And it's been amazing to see. And yeah, we're still running our great Patreon new subscribers sale.
That's right.
25% off an annual or a monthly membership. And you can see all of that at patreon.com/KitandKrysta.
Yes, coming to Patreon soon. Later this week, we're recording our Mario movie spoiler cast and watch along.
I'm excited about that. You and I both recently refreshed our memories on the Mario movie.
Oh, you did?
You watched it over the weekend. I watched it about a month ago. And we're going to...
All right.
But we're going to watch it as part of the watch along right before we record the spoiler cast. Right. And you even said recently when you did your rewatch, you noticed some new things.
I really did.
And that's cool.
How many times have we seen this movie?
I've seen it
prior.
Oh, I watched it.
Or how many times did we see it in theaters?
3.
It was a lot.
I saw it like at the premiere, and then you and I went to go see it because we had bought tickets already.
Yeah.
And then I went to go see it with the ex-Nintendo crew. We all went to go see it in theaters. And then I watch this movie like once a month at least. I just watch it because it's fun. It's good. It's just fun to have in the background. But what's interesting and cool is now that we've seen the first glimpse of the Mario Galaxy movie, you're starting to notice more things connecting the two things.
Whether they intended or not.
I mean, they probably did. But it's pretty cool to be able to kind of like glean the oh wow, they've like teased this a little bit already. Oh, we already saw a glimpse of that already here. So it's like you're watching it through like a different lens almost, which is kind of cool. Which is why it's fun we're doing the spoiler cast now, I think.
I'm going to tell you this now, just so your feelings don't get hurt later.
What now?
I think it's good for you to start thinking about this now. So for the first Mario movie, we got invited to the premiere. I don't think we're getting invited to the premiere for the second one.
Why?
I don't think we are. So
why?
For the first movie, Universal has their own, they were running all of this. They have their own people. They brought in this agency where I knew somebody really well who was kind of in charge of that. And they're like, oh, we knew that this would be something that would be perfect for you. And, we were able to make it happen. I don't know if they're still working. I don't know if they're working on the sequel at all. But we saw so many Nintendo people there. We saw Mr. Miyamoto. We saw all of them. I have to imagine there was some, never again. Not again. None of that. Not allowed.
Oh, no.
I'm just saying. I don't know. I could be wrong. Just saying.
That was pretty fun.
That's why I'm saying this now.
I'm already feeling hurt.
That's why I'm telling you now on a podcast that we are recording. Sorry. We also have
That's awful.
Up on our YouTube channel a great new vlog where we are refreshing our studio.
We did do that.
For the new year. So
yes, looking around right now, it feels so much better.
This little nook where we record in looks pretty much the same.
Yes.
There's 2 rooms here, and they were a complete mess at the end of 2025. We got so much stuff. We had things that were just stacked up.
Yes.
Stuff just strewn around.
We ran out of space, so we needed to get more storage solutions. Yeah. We were just like outgrowing what we had, like furniture-wise, what we had in here.
And we just kind of like pushed it off. It's like, all right, we're busy now, but in the new year, we're going to really hunker down and get this taken care of. And we did it. We recorded it.
We did. We vlogged it. You can see us cleaning. I found dust. I was horrified.
Well, we found something worse than dust.
We found ants.
We found ants.
We were horrified.
So we're working through a bit of an ant problem. And there were some comments on the video already about the ants. And there was one that I was especially concerned with. Of like, is it... might these be carpenter ants? Because those are kind of like, I guess those are kind of like termites. And it's like those can actually, it's called carpenter ants because they're like biting through wood.
I don't think they are. I think they're just a normal run-of-the-mill ant.
I did some simple research and it looks like a carpenter ant's like pretty big.
I don't think that's
I was like, this is like a normal size ant.
Normal
so
ant.
Hopefully it's not that kind of ant, but I don't know. We don't own this building. We should say, I think we're going to give this...
We have a landlord.
We're trying our own solution with traps and such. If it doesn't get better, we'll just ask the landlord to...
Exterminate the situation.
Take care of it for us.
Yeah, exactly. Our building, our wall, where it seems like the ants are coming in from, there's like a plant thing there.
Dirt.
There's dirt with plants. So I'm thinking maybe the nest is outside and they're finding a way in. Anyhow.
Yes. Unrelated to the ants, I'm so excited now that I have my own dedicated Machamp Nook.
Oh, yes.
Which is wonderful.
Your shrine to Machamp.
In contrast to all of the official Pokemon stores out there where I walk in and I say, where's the Machamp section? And they have nothing. Guess what? We have a dedicated Machamp section now.
There is a dedicated
Much
Machamp.
to your chagrin.
I put it together for you. I dusted those Machamps. All those muscles.
Dusted the Machamp.
I was dusting them for you. Where's the gratefulness?
Did you cocoa butter up the four arms of Machamp?
Have.
Glistening with the big muscles and the veins and the stuff?
Should have sprayed that Axe body spray on the Machamps. the Luigi scented
That's what I'm talking about.
Spray.
That's what I'm talking about.
So that's happening. We also are gearing up for next month's spoiler cast,
that's right.
Which is between the choices of Final Fantasy VII Remake or Dispatch.
We need some help.
Both games are coming to Switch 2 at end of the month. End of this month.
Soon.
So we're getting it all ready to go for
Can't decide.
February. But tell us, what do you guys want us to play for the next spoiler cast?
Yeah, we're going to do an official poll on Patreon. You can even vote in that if you're in the free tier. So check it out. Well, that'll be going up probably around the end of the week.
I'd be happy with it
because that's when Final Fantasy's coming out. So if that's the one, we might as well just get started.
Right.
So...
And then Dispatch is coming out the 28th, so it's a little bit later?
See, it's tricky because that'll be for the February spoiler cast. We haven't talked about this, but it seems like Resident Evil is a natural for the March spoiler cast. And then we don't really know, who knows what'll happen by the time we get to April. So it's like, is one of these games just going to be lost to time?
Probably.
Oh, no.
We already have a Final Fantasy VII Remake spoiler cast.
That's why I'm interested in doing the remake, so that we can eventually have the whole trilogy.
Because we did Rebirth, but not Remake.
No.
So then, this is why tough. It's hard.
It's tough.
Yeah, we have Rebirth, but not Remake. So we were playing Remake, obviously, before this channel started.
I mean, we'll play both of these games, but in terms of doing full dedicated big spoiler cast, I don't know.
And we played Remake in the moment, but we haven't played since. I'm so interested in Dispatch, though. I'm so interested. It seems perfect.
Please vote. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, this is why you guys need to pick, because we can't decide.
Yes.
We can't decide.
We hear more of your rantings about Aerith.
Or we can talk about Hot Guys.
Oh, excuse me. This is censored. Again, Razor Ramon's Fly, zipped up.
We're censoring the spoiler cast?
No, Nintendo censored the game. Remember?
They censored the art.
Well, we don't know. I don't actually think they
censored the game.
I don't actually think they censored the game, but it's funny to say that they did.
It's definitely going to be an adult-only spoiler
They took one look at Razor Ramon and said, oh, we can't have that.
No. Yeah, if we do Dispatch, though, we have to put the warning sticker. It's like the MEO warning, mature content.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, mature. Right. Very mature.
Right. You'll be crying tears of joy.
I will.
Due to Razor Ramon's unzipped pants.
I can't wait.
Perfect.
I can't wait to see it. So excited.
All right. We have a packed news section that we're about to get into. But first, we have to shout out our sponsor. This episode is sponsored by Mint Mobile.
Wow.
They couldn't get Ryan Reynolds, so they got us instead. What a disappointment.
I do love a Ryan Reynolds.
Downgrade.
It's a definite downgrade.
Downgrade.
But not an upgrade. An upgrade is getting Mint Mobile over your current
good one
wireless
carrier.
Good one. Hey!
So the holidays are over, and listen, we can all get a little tapped out over the holidays. You look at your credit card bill for like November, December, like, wait, what happened?
Whoa.
And you kind of black out a little bit. You spend
Yeah.
a little bit too much money. So, you're looking for ways to get back on track. And that's where Mint Mobile is here in January with 50% off unlimited premium wireless.
That's a huge discount.
That's a lot.
And yes, you might be needing to tighten the purse strings a little bit, save on those bloated plans, on unnecessary monthly charges. Go with Mint Mobile and get a great deal.
Yeah, you get a plan for 3, 6, or 12 months. All of them come with high-speed data, unlimited talk and text, the largest 5G network.
Wow.
A network that will not go down. Unlike
some others,
my lips are
some
sealed,
others.
but you know what I'm talking about there. And it's so easy if you want to switch over because you can just bring over your phone, your existing phone number, all your contacts. I remember, God, we're old enough to remember, like,
transferring.
You couldn't do this,
Yes.
and you were just like locked. I was like, I'm in this bad plan. I'm in this bad carrier. But
Right.
what can I do? I don't want to change this number. Everybody
Yeah.
knows this number.
Yeah.
No more. Thanks
Now
to
you
Mint
can
Mobile.
just do this easily and save a lot of money, which is great.
Yes, thank you, Mint Mobile. Thank you, Ryan Reynolds. This January, quit overspending on wireless with 50% off unlimited premium wireless. Plans start at $15 a month at mintmobile.com/kitandkrista. That's mintmobile.com/kitandkrista. Limited time offer. Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 a month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. More than 50 gigabits may slow when network is busy. Capable device required. Availability, speed, and coverage varies. See mintmobile.com for details.
We'll put the link right over here with a QR code for you to scan and in the description below.
All right.
All right.
News time. We have some news on Doug Bowser. Remember
Yes,
him?
I
Remember
do.
that guy?
That guy?
Yes. So
Sure. I have a mild recollection.
we had heard through the grapevine that I was like, oh, Doug's got a lot lined up for when he retires. And we didn't know exactly what the plans were, though. But a piece of the puzzle has been revealed. He is going to be joining the board of directors for Hasbro.
I know.
Wow.
How exciting for Doug.
Yeah, it's a pretty big move.
Yeah.
They obviously are most known for their toys, but have been making a bigger push into games. And they have a lot of brands. So they have Wizards of the Coast, which is obviously Magic the Gathering, Dungeons and Dragons, all of that stuff. Transformers, Monopoly, Nerf, Peppa Pig, My Little Pony. I mean, that's
They got a lot of stuff.
It's a lot of stuff. But yeah, they have been kind of ramping up this games division. I have to imagine bringing Doug in as specifically please help us with this in particular.
Yeah, I like how immediately the comments were equivalent to the Reggie Bring Us Mother 3. and it's Doug Bring Us Baldur's Gate.
Yes, he's
It's
going to make it happen.
Immediately there are requests for him to do a thing.
Right.
So, but yeah, congratulations to Doug. I'm sure it's fun to finally do something that you want to do, that he wants to do, and he's like, I can do this and not have a big whole, this overlord thing kind of keeping me from doing it the way I want to do it.
Right.
So that's a nice sense of freedom for him.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of similar to what Reggie did after he left. He pretty quickly joined the GameStop board, and I don't get the sense that he loved that. He kind of withdrew from that after some point. This seems like a pretty good fit for Doug.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty established company that really has a lot that they can learn from him. So I don't think we're going to be hearing from him directly on Hasbro related things, but he'll be weighing in and helping to guide them. And seems like a good fit.
Yeah. I think it's pretty typical. A lot of these big executives when they retire to join some kind of board. And I think at Nintendo, you weren't allowed to be on a board if you were still at the company. Because I remember Cammie Dunaway. Remember, we talked about her in an earlier episode. And I think she had tried to join a board while she was at Nintendo, and they said no.
Right.
So I'm sure a lot of the execs that retired, they're like, oh, I can finally do this and try this thing out.
Right.
Which is kind of new, kind of cool.
Yeah. Then there was the Devin Pritchard appearance at the New York Game Awards. She had a very kind of straightforward intro video, and a lot of people were excited to sort of see and hear from her for the first time.
Yeah.
Did you have thoughts on this?
I mean, I think it was very scripted and very sanitized, and I people were like, oh, how come she was able to do this? It's like, well, this is a very U.S. based opportunity that she's speaking at. I think they were very much pre-approving all of the scripts and having her do it via a video versus her being there in person to do anything was a way to control that a bit. But yeah, a fine way to kind of get her out there a little bit. I don't think that the plan is to get her out there a lot. So I'm sure this is like a very rare opportunity that you'll see from her. And other people have pointed out is like she does not have like any sort of public social media presence. Like unlike Doug, who did have a public Twitter profile, like where he was posting things that people were writing for him, but he was still like, quote, like pseudo public. Like she didn't have any of that stuff. So I think anytime you'll hear from her is probably going to be like a very scripted type of event like that. Otherwise, I don't expect, her to be like out there or anything like that.
Yeah, I remember when Doug became president, we had, they proactively reached out to us. Twitter did, and this was when Twitter was still Twitter. And they were like, oh, we know Doug is already a big user, and, we want to send our executive coaching team out to your office and talk to him. And they did. And they had this whole team of people who deals with nothing but executives who have a public face on Twitter. It was very interesting to kind of sit in with them. And, they had a lot of ideas, and we didn't really do a lot of those, but it was interesting to see.
Yeah, exactly. There is like a way to have an executive corporate social account that's different than like, hey, it's me and my dinner that I'm posting about. That's like a very different thing. Like you're not really sharing anything personal. You're using it as an extension of, bringing brand awareness to the brand that you're representing. So it's not really like a personal account. But Devin just simply doesn't have that. And I don't envision her getting that.
Japan's happy about that.
Yeah, and I'm not she doesn't seem like the type that's like, I need to have this. Like she's not like raising her hand like I need a public Twitter account or something like that. So yeah, that's what I'm saying is like, this is probably this video that we saw of her from the New York Critics Circle Awards is like probably a good example of the types of things she will be doing publicly, which is like very scripted, very controlled, kinds of appearances versus like she's tweeting through it, during a Nintendo Direct or something like that.
Yeah. Last week we talked about the Pokemon Lego and some of the mixed feelings we had about that. There's more Legos on the way. We have, yes?
I'm excited about this one.
Really?
I actually want this.
Oh, I didn't expect you to say this. Tell us more.
So the Pokemon Legos, we both agreed, like, not only were they like kind of ugly, especially the Pikachu, they were extremely expensive.
Yes.
Like upwards of $600. This is not ugly. This is actually very cool looking, I think. I like the way that it's like very action oriented. Right. I actually really like the little movie that they made.
Yeah, so this is the Ocarina of Time final battle Lego set.
So you got minifigures of Link and Princess Zelda and this big Lego build out of Ganon. And again, it's like very like action based. You can probably reposition. Oh, there's even a little Navi.
There is a Ganondorf also.
There's a Ganondorf also.
You can act out the whole transformation.
And you got this like ruined Hyrule Castle and this little Navi that's just poking out. But it looks like it's very like, you can like manipulate it around, place the minifigs wherever. And they were so clever. They did like a little, like kind of a stop motion movie.
That looked great.
With the minifigs. And I was so impressed.
It looked really good.
I was like, forget live action Zelda.
Do this.
Do a funny
Great.
Lego's
taking over. We can have Lego Mario Party. We can have the Lego Zelda movie. And we can just put our entire life savings into these sets. I'm getting tired of these Legos. I gotta say, I'm getting tired of this.
You don't even like this one? I want to buy
No, I
this.
don't like. I don't.
Also,
I don't like Legos.
This one is only $130.
Oh, it's only over $100. What a
That's like way cheaper than Pokemon. That's like a fourth of the price. So that's.
Is this really worth $100?
I think so. I want this.
$130?
I want this. This is cool.
Because you get two of these little minifigures. I mean, you can see in this other picture with the guy. What's your critique? You had some critiques about the pictures with the guys before.
This also looks like AI to me.
I mean,
that does not look like a real human.
This guy just finished a 12-hour vibe coding session, and he's here building a Lego.
No, he's not real. He's an AI.
Posting his haul on Reddit. What do you think of this?
No, I don't like him.
No.
But I like this is a pretty sizable, like, it's fun. I think we should build this for the studio.
I don't want to. You can do it yourself.
I love this. I think this is great.
I'm rapidly becoming sick of Legos. Sorry.
Well, you never liked them in the first place.
I know. I didn't grow up with Legos is the thing, so I really don't have any affinity for them. But it's getting oversaturated.
I definitely had like
It's like I get it. You can turn anything into a Lego.
I had a very standard Lego set when I was little, but when I was little, we never. It was just like build a house or whatever.
Okay.
And I remember it came in like a little suitcase.
Was it a set or was it just blocks?
It was blocks, but they did give you a little instruction book on the different things you can make it into. But back in the day, back when I was a child, they didn't have a lot of these like branded.
No.
It wasn't like you can get like a Star Wars Lego
No,
set.
no.
Like that didn't exist.
Yeah, that was later on.
So, that's a different thing. But I think out of all the Legos I've seen so far, and we've seen a lot, from Game Boys to, Super Mario World, Yoshi's to the Pokemon ones. I think this is the best one.
You like this one more than the Yoshi? The big Yoshi with the bleh?
I think I like this more than the Yoshi. I think this one is really cool.
What's going on with you?
I do like this.
Okay.
I think this is actually like a fun, and you can like play with it.
All right, well, enjoy building that yourself.
Yeah, I like this.
Moving on. There was a Resident Evil Requiem showcase.
Wow.
That Capcom did, showing off even more of the game. This was really good. This was pretty in-depth. We saw a lot more of the game. We heard directly from the developers. They had other little odds and ends, like get this watch, buy this watch. They're like, we worked with Porsche to make a Porsche that's in the game. I was like, all right, some of this is getting a bit more. But
Can I have the Porsche?
I mean, I found the game details to be pretty interesting. So they were talking about how they originally tried making a more horror-oriented game starring Leon, and then realized that people don't want to see Leon being scared. Forget that.
Yeah, well, that's not his personality. It's like very opposite of who he is.
Yeah.
So obviously that would feel very out of place. So I'm glad they went in the direction they did, which is like the horror, timid parts are with Grace, and then the more like action parts are with Leon. So that totally makes sense.
Yeah, they said it's basically like you're playing two different games going between the two.
Yeah, seems like it.
And from part of me reads that and it's like,
do I want to play two different games?
you can get a little concerned of like maybe just try and do one game really well. But again, based on everything that we've seen of the game so far, it's like, well, it seems to be working and it seems cool. So we'll kind of have to wait until we can see more and play more ourselves to put a verdict on that. But I did just have a moment of like,
Yeah.
One game's hard enough.
It's two very different types of gameplay as well, so it's going to be up to them to blend it or balance it in a way where it feels cohesive, or else it's like too much of like, whiplash. Like suddenly, one moment I'm scared and stealthy, and then the next moment I'm like kicking a door down or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's just up to them to make sure that balance works.
I don't think this had been shared before. They are going to have a classic mode that requires you to obtain the ink ribbons to save your game, like the old games.
The old time. I'm not doing that.
I'm sure as heck not doing this.
The game is scary and challenging enough. I can't be.
That was a real turnoff, honestly. When you had to say, "Wait, I have limited saves." Are you joking?
It's like true survival. That's the thing. True survival.
Some people are into this. They can continue to be into this.
They're sickos. These are the people that played it in VR.
Won't be me. They did, show again that the Switch 2 Pro controller, but it did make me wonder. Like, wait a minute. With Resident Evil 4, we got the chainsaw controller. You remember that?
Oh yeah.
It like literally looked like a chainsaw
cool.
for the GameCube. It's like, man, they could. I think you said you really like that controller, right?
Yes.
We don't agree. Like Legos, we don't agree on this controller.
The controller, I think, looks pretty good. I might actually buy that controller because I don't even have a Pro controller yet.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't buy the new one yet.
I think it looks pretty lame.
Because I never play in TV mode, but if I'm going to buy a Pro controller, I might as well buy one that I like.
Okay.
If I'm going to spend that much money. This is the one that has like that newspapery looking.
Yeah.
I think it's cool.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. I like it. I think it's like really neat looking.
Chainsaw though, where's that?
You want the chainsaw?
I want the chainsaw.
Okay.
I mean, this is like, here's an example.
Not very practical.
Here's an example. What do you mean? It's a controller. It's got sticks. It's got the buttons.
But the chainsaw is on it. It's like very
weird
awesome. And unwieldy.
It looks awesome.
Okay.
And then they did detail this deluxe edition contents. I think we'd heard about some of this, but they showed it off more. You get these costumes, weapon skins, other things. I'm not sure this is really.
I'm not sure this is for me.
This is a great value.
Yeah. It's like a lot of like little. It's almost like digital tchotchkes.
Yeah, I mean,
You know
some
what
of
I
the
mean?
costumes are cool. I mean, you can get like RE4 Leon with the fuzzy jacket.
You need to get the jacket.
And all of that.
That's cool.
I thought you were getting me this Old Navy jacket. What
You said
happened?
you didn't want it.
I don't.
I saw it in the window again this morning.
Again, you can always return it.
Okay, maybe we buy it for
take a picture
photo
and return it.
shoot and return it.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are also these new figures of Leon and Grace that a lot of people at first thought these were amiibo.
These are not amiibo.
These are not amiibo. No, these are like little figurines that you can buy. And I guess they have done these style and these same size figurines for other characters from Resident Evil.
Why does Leon's face look kind of messed up?
They're fine. They're fine, but yeah, it'd be cool if they could be amiibo.
Yeah.
I mean, if they can do amiibo, maybe Capcom got burned on amiibo or something. I don't know.
From those Street
But they're doing that
Fighter
Pragmata amiibo with that weird girl. It's like that's not going to be a big
They
seller.
should make like a chibi.
Just give us the amiibos we want.
Like a chibi Leon amiibo. That would be cute. Big old head,
I don't know about
jacket,
that, but
big
okay.
eyes,
Okay.
like a little chibi Leon.
You have a really cool Leon thing.
I do
Have
have a
you ever
Leon
talked
thing.
about this?
Maybe. I still have it. I don't have it with me today.
Maybe it was in our Japan vlog, but tell people again.
So we were at 8-4 and they had a bunch of
In
Japan, and they had a bunch of like little blind bags of keychains, and they were all like video game themed, but they were cool. They were like it was like a Hanafuda card design with a random video game franchise that's been integrated into the design, and we were all just like randomly pulling it, and there was one that was Leon on a Hanafuda card.
I don't think this is the story at all. I think you.
And then I stole it.
I think you took it from our friend Shane Bettenhausen.
I did.
You say, I need to have this.
We had, all of us picked one, and I didn't like mine. And his was the Leon one.
I think he had just gotten that earlier in the day, and you're like, hey, give me that. You shook him down.
No, I didn't.
I'm pretty sure
No,
that's
we
right.
were blind.
Wow.
We were blind unboxing.
You're blind to the truth.
Keychain.
That's what you are.
No, I wasn't. And then his was better, and I was like, can I have that? And he's like, yeah.
He really didn't want to give it to you.
He did too want to give
No,
it to
he
me.
didn't.
He
No,
did.
like, fine.
No, he was like, you can have it. And I was like, okay, thanks.
It is cool, though.
And then I took it.
It's cool. I like it.
And now I still have it.
They are also doing these Resident Evil concerts.
Ooh.
That's going to be going on a global tour. I guess this has already started.
I guess it started.
No.
Except
Why
for
does it started
entries.
except? Oh, is that maybe for tickets?
Oh, pre-sale.
I'm having a hard time reading this graphic, but yeah, Saturday 7th and 8th in March. It's Sonic City Hall. What the heck is that?
Where's that at?
I think that I don't know, but I just noted that they are coming to Japan, U.S. and Europe.
Okay.
On this.
Okay. Cool. We don't know which cities yet, though.
Get creeped out in a concert. I don't know. They might.
Yeah,
So,
that'd be scary.
Resident Evil coming. I mean, we're like barely a month
I know.
from that game coming out, so that's exciting.
It's very exciting.
Yeah. We now know who is going to be playing Kratos in the God of War TV show that Amazon is doing. And it feels like we've been hearing about this show for a really long time.
I know.
Do you agree? Do you feel that way?
I agree. But I'm kind of still excited.
It's been a really long time, and it made me wonder,
These Amazon shows, well, I guess just Fallout has been doing quite well.
That's an Amazon one.
That's an Amazon.
And you started watching the new season.
I love that show.
And you watched all the first season.
I did, yes. And I started the new season, and it's very well done. So if they're kind of going along the same path as in terms of quality and, respect for the source material, as they say, with God of War, as they are doing with Fallout, I'm pretty excited about it.
Okay, so
this is a good cast. Ryan Hurst.
So they have cast the actor who's going to be playing Kratos. His name is Ryan Hurst, who is not really a big name, but he's notable.
He's got the look.
He's been connected to God of War because he played Thor in God of War Ragnarok. So I'm assuming that means the voice and the performance,
the mocap,
the performance capture of Thor. And yeah, he's got that kind of Viking-ish sort of look. He's got the beard.
He really has the look.
Gonna have to shave his head.
He's gonna have to work out like crazy.
Get him on the HGH and the creatine and
he's gonna need to be
routine. Get him on the Marvel
diet
regiment.
Yeah.
I have his kind of IMDb up because I was like, what else has this guy been in? So he's been in some TV shows, like he was in Walking Dead.
Yep.
He was in Law. Everybody's been in Law and Order.
Of course.
Everybody started their career as a dead body in Law and Order.
Or it's like either that or they're in some soap opera like Days of Our Lives.
You're either a Vic or a perp.
Oh,
CSI Miami. Oh, he was in CSI Miami.
Okay, all right.
With the guy with the red hair that he did the thing. He was a popular. He was a meme for a while.
The guy with the red hair.
The main guy of CSI Miami. What was his name?
Who's the main?
David Caruso.
Oh, David Caruso.
And he would always do the cheesy one-liners. He peels off the sunglasses, you know?
Yeah, but nothing crazy. Nothing like...
House MD?
Okay.
Yeah. What else?
I thought that he was in Game of Thrones, but he just has the Game of Thrones look.
A couple movies here and there. Oh, he's in
Yeah.
Okay, so this is kind of a big break for him.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, he hasn't been in something that's like, oh yeah, I know exactly who that is, you know?
To my original point, though, like, they just cast him now? They're just doing casting?
Might be a while.
Why have I been hearing about this for years?
Might be a while.
Oh, man.
Before we get more of this. Because, yeah, it sounds like they're moving pretty slow.
I don't know what's happening. I mean, I don't want to get too tangential here, but I really don't know what the future of this series is.
I thought they were going to be leaving.
They said Egypt.
Yeah, I heard they're leaving behind the Norse mythology side of
more old and more grizzled now.
Well, he's immortal.
Don't look at it.
He always looks like that.
He's aging. He didn't know. He looked very young in the PS2 games. Oh. He looked very young. Look at grizzled.
I would like to have no more Atreus like ever again.
I agree with that. Leave him. He can stay behind.
He can stay in Greece.
Yes.
Or wherever.
Yes.
Not Greece. What am I talking about?
And they can try and do the adventures of Atreus, and that can be the next Concord that nobody wants to play.
Oh my gosh. No thanks.
No,
yeah. Atreus was very annoying. Yeah. Did not like him. Just have Mimir and Kratos on an adventure around the world. That's what we want.
That'd be fun. Let's take a couple questions from our Patreon subscribers before we move on. Here's one from Dude Dad Life. With the Xbox Developer Direct coming this week, so I think that is out the day that this podcast is out. We obviously have not seen it by the time of us recording this. It got me thinking about how Nintendo likes to handle big announcements from other developers. If Microsoft were to announce something like Xbox Cloud Gaming or other services coming to the Switch, is this something that Nintendo would want to announce through a Nintendo Direct, or would they allow Microsoft to handle it through their own channels?
Yeah, we were thinking about the timing of this. Like there are some things, some announcements that Microsoft will want to own. Like if it's their something that's more so related to, Microsoft, they probably want to break the news first before they go into detail on a Nintendo Direct. So there's going to be things that they want to talk about in their own thing before they talk about it in more detail in a Direct. I don't know. I mean, I'm just thinking of wouldn't they want to announce some sort of set the stage for some kind of big Switch 2 announcement in their own thing first?
I mean, I see this as, the Xbox Developer Direct is speaking to the dwindling Xbox fans, and those fans want to be excited for something that they can play on an Xbox. I'm not sure how excited those people are going to be if you keep talking about all these games coming to other platforms that are not
But everything's an Xbox.
Okay.
That's a thing that they've been doing for
Nintendo fans,
year plus now.
Nintendo fans are not watching the Developer Direct. They don't even know a Developer Direct exists. So
you don't think they're going to do anything Nintendo related?
I mean, they might. I mean, they might talk about they might make some reference of Xbox and other platforms or something like that. But I think if they're going to actually reveal that it's coming to a Switch, why would you not put that in a Nintendo Direct? Those are the people you want to sell the game to. Those are the people that need to know.
Everything's an Xbox.
Instead of these angry Xbox fans just going through it for 4 years straight.
I don't know. I feel like there's going to be some stuff they want to announce in this thing.
Like what, though? You can't even say.
They might say just that.
There might be some stuff. What do you mean? What?
They may announce and it's coming to other platforms.
All right. Well, I mean, you're not even mentioning the platform, so it's kind of a great big nothing.
But it's still setting people up for something.
You're just giving more cope to these Xbox fans. That's all you're doing. You're talking to Xbox fans, Xbox owners, the dwindling Xbox owner base.
That's why you need to do more to get more people in.
Yeah, not an Xbox Developer Direct. on those
I don't know.
on those other things.
I feel like there
On these
might
other
be something.
things. Or who knows? These games sometimes just show up, just randomly appear, show up out of nowhere.
Those Playground devs are really teasing that Fable update. Like
that better deliver.
they were like, you won't. It was like not expectation management at all.
That better deliver.
It was like you're gonna be so excited to see what we got going for this game. And we're like, okay.
That better be on the Switch too. I'll just play it on PS5.
Okay.
Yes.
Anyways.
Here we go. On to another question from Silver Potato. So this is referencing a story that was discussed in Resetera, talking how Nintendo demanded that Mario is always one step ahead of Sonic in the Mario and Sonic games. This has a quote from the localization producer of those games. I guess they initially made some mistakes in some of the renders, and Sonic's foot was ahead of Mario's, and Nintendo said that they need to fix it. The question is, what is the explanation behind the marketing for Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, where Mario is always ahead?
I'm trying to think about this because I don't remember it being like a topic that people brought up explicitly, like in marketing materials, because I did work on some of these games, and I don't remember like people saying in a meeting or in a marketing meeting like, oh, you have to put Mario's foot ahead of Sonic's.
Were you making marketing assets that were not already finished?
I mean, I don't remember, like, you know, when we were in those meetings with the design team, they would like show us the illustrations and stuff like that. I guess those were pretty close to being finished. So they could have done the work beforehand.
Yeah.
But by the time it got to us, I didn't hear anything about Mario's foot needing to be ahead of Sonic's. Most of our challenges were dealing with the Olympic Committee. That was the bulk of the marketing problems that we had, was just dealing with approvals from the Olympic Committee. Like the approvals from Sega and the approvals from internally at Nintendo were like nothing compared to what you were dealing with, the Olympic people. So this is something that I do not remember happening.
Well, it happened before you were even involved. Is the point here. I mean, Nintendo loves having leverage, and they love exerting that leverage. So in this case, even when it comes down to pettiness of like who's winning the race in the screenshot.
You really think they did this?
Absolutely.
Oh, I don't know.
Absolutely. Like, we're already stooping into the gutter to do this game with dirty Sonic and his dirty friends. We better make sure that Mario's got top billing, top dog, doing all this stuff in this. You have the localization producer saying as much. You don't believe it?
Yeah, okay.
Because somebody in some Monday meeting didn't tell you?
I don't know. Seems like it's very... I mean, I guess it's petty enough for Nintendo to be petty, so...
They insist on winning every business interaction they have, which is why
even back in those days when they really had no leverage.
This was the Wii. They had all the leverage.
Okay.
Sonic had no home. Sonic had nothing. I mean, that's why when they have these interactions with something like an Amazon, it's always interesting because it's like nobody's going to budge.
Or like an Apple, because they're both big,
right? So
they won't do it. I don't know. I feel like budge. I thought they were playing nice during this partnership.
No.
I really thought they were.
They're taking advantage.
Oh, it's terrible.
That's what it is.
Didn't feel like it. I mean, I will say,
business jockeying.
When it got to us on the marketing side, it did not feel like really did feel like Nintendo and Sega were working really well together against the Olympic Committee. It was like us against the Olympic Committee.
There was a common enemy.
That's what I'm saying. The Olympic Committee, like the IFC or whatever it's called, was the common enemy between Nintendo and Sega, and we were like joining together a lot of the times to like fight them because they were so awful to work with. Talk about like an organization that has the most antiquated processes ever. Even worse, thousands of times worse than Nintendo, So
but those processes get a lot better if you just grease the wheels a little bit.
I think the wheels were
some
greased.
palms.
The wheels were so greased.
Grease some palms.
They gave a lot of money to them.
They need more.
There's many countries giving you lots of money. I think you're good. But yeah, it was like my experience working on this was like Nintendo and Sega played real nice together on these games.
We're moving on to the games we're playing, and it's a surprisingly long list. Mm-hmm. I don't know how did we play this many games? I don't know.
Dabbling.
But we are here to talk about the Animal Crossing 3.0 update.
Yeah.
We do have a video from last week of our first impressions, like immediately as the update and the Switch 2 version went live. Our experience of that was the online crashing.
It crashed a lot.
Multiple times.
And we couldn't get into a game
couldn't get
together.
into a game together.
Which was really sad.
But we do have that, and we have been playing it since. So what do you think?
Yeah, I've been playing definitely more than I was playing before, which was none. So I definitely have been going back maybe like a couple minutes a day. You just gave me some amiibo to scan because I still didn't have that. I hadn't taken any amiibo home to scan, so I did do that and get all the items and started to like kind of purchase and collect the Zelda items. It is really annoying that you only can get 5 a day. The game just does a lot to slow you down, and it's very obvious.
I also forgot that you don't keep track of, like, I was like, wait, did I already get that one?
I know.
Or am I going to be buying it again?
Yeah.
I should have paid more attention to that.
Exactly. Just going down the list,
right.
5 at a time. But yeah, the game does things like that to make it so that you're slowing down, so you're not burning through. Right. I understand that because it's supposed to be a slow burn game, but sometimes the way they do it just feels very like heavy-handed and kind of clunky. It's like, oh, you can only get 5 items a day. Oh, you can only decorate 2 hotel rooms a day.
Yeah.
It's like all these things are just very like, they're really limiting how I want to experience this new thing that you tricked me into getting, you know? So, whatever. It's fine. It's okay. It's not really capturing my imagination.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
I'm kind of in the same boat where I was like, oh, I'm going to try this, and I don't know. Like, it could connect with me. It could completely whiff. I've been playing, like you, like a little bit every day. I don't see it being like a long-term thing for me to get back to. I mean, we've all just spent so much time with this game, and we've done so much in it that, like, even when they add something like this, it's like the ability to draw you back in long-term. It's a steep hill to climb.
Right.
And my impression is like, oh, there might actually be less in this update than I thought, especially since the hotel stuff is very similar to the DLC that they had before.
Yeah, Happy Home Designer.
Like surprisingly similar. Like, oh,
it's almost exactly
why
the
didn't
same.
they come up with something a little bit different for you to do?
It is really interesting the priority that this game, New Horizons specifically, puts around decorating and crafting versus personality, which was what the other games had more of. Like New Leaf had all that personality with your villagers and with those interactions that you had with them, those dialogue options. But this game, New Horizons, is like the blandest in terms of personality, but it does give you a lot to do in terms of like decorating and like of course like the terraforming and all that stuff, the DIY, the crafting. But I feel like they went so far to that side of like decorating and crafting that it's starting like it feels like a chore a little bit because you lose the personality of the world. Like you kind of don't want to exist in the world that much because it's like kind of boring. And if you're just jamming out like I'm making a butter churn 10 times.
Says the person who played over 1,000 hours.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
Of this game.
Yeah, I mean,
this game sucks.
I have bigger questions about this game now that we're looking back on it too. It's like, was it really just the pandemic?
I mean, I still like the game a lot, but I just feel like a sense of completion with it in a lot of ways. Of like, I did that. I completed that experience.
There's also this thing where a lot of people have said this to us, and I hear this a lot all the time. It's like, that was a moment in time for me.
Yeah.
And I don't really want to open that door again. Like, I really don't feel like it. Like, not only was it terrible, it brings up these like weird memories for me now when I play this game. And I don't want to.
Yeah.
And I totally get that.
Yeah.
It's like that is such an interesting thing for a game to, like a burden for a game to have where now it's tied to this, this real life thing that happened that was awful, that was very hard for all of us, and it can't escape that.
Right.
And then you also think about, like, what is the future of this series? Like, what are they going to have to do to totally kind of revamp that thought process and that sort of association that people have? Like, oh my gosh, the last game was tied to this big major global event. It led to the game becoming this phenomenon, but it had this like really, like kind of dark side almost to it. It's like, what now? inevitably when the next Animal Crossing game comes out, what is that going to feel like? And
I'm going to tell you exactly. It's going to be the Mario Kart world of Animal Crossings.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it's going to be. So they're going to realize, like, well, gosh, we went really far in all of this, so we got to try and do something a little bit different. And they'll do something different, but it's not going to hit.
It's going to be polarizing.
It's not going to hit with everybody.
Exactly. It'll become a polarizing
That's exactly
thing.
what it will be.
Yeah. It's interesting how that happens. It's like you and the world event have made a bar that you can never surpass, basically, which is really you couldn't have made this up. There's things that are outside of Nintendo's control, obviously, for how they're going to handle this next game due to what happened with this game. But yeah, like no amount of updates, no amount of new content or better graphics or whatever will ever capture that again. And a lot of people are just out. So it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I went back. I go back like 10 minutes to putz around the island, but I'm not really doing anything.
Yeah.
It
is this interesting time capsule.
It is.
Again, if you're like us and you kind of left the game behind for a couple of years, like to go back to it, it's like, oh, this is really frozen in time from that era.
True.
Which is why I'm so gosh darn mad that you deleted the Nintendo Minute set off of your island.
Sorry.
Thank God I still have it on mine.
Okay.
I'm submitting my save to the Smithsonian.
This is
so they can put
Video
that up
Game
there.
History Museum.
Yes. And yeah, like going through my house, like I was like, oh, what's in my basement? I can't remember. And it was this like whole. Remember we did a collab Nintendo Minute that was like prom.
Oh yeah.
It was like Animal Crossing prom, and I had built out this whole like prom set. I was like, oh, I had completely forgotten about this.
Yeah, that's right. It was like prom season, but no one could have a prom.
All the memories came rushing back. I was like, oh yeah. So I kind of don't really want. I kind of like leaving it like this.
Yeah.
Because it is such a strong memory of that time. It's like, this is kind of perfect as I had it.
Yeah.
So any ideas of like, a complete overhaul, I don't really want to do that.
You don't want to reset your island.
No, I mean, I want to get rid of the flowers, but that's a whole
You can
other
really
thing.
do it, though. That you can just scrape the entire thing.
Yeah,
or
you can do the Dream Islands. Have you checked that out at all, that feature?
No.
I went into that and I looked at it and I was like, okay, so this is how you do it. You can bring friends into this, but I didn't really get going in terms of building.
We'll try it with our community, like we were saying, but
we'll try it out.
I think it's only fun with a lot of people.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it works now.
Right.
Online.
And yeah, I mean, to your point, like I do think this game coming out in the pandemic did like the more like slower paced things. Like we were all a lot more open to that then because we just had less to do.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, yeah, I'm just going to watch this thing load for another minute. Why not? I got nowhere else to be and nothing else to do. Sure.
Exactly.
And versus like now you're really like, let's get going here.
Yeah. I mean, the load times are much better.
Yeah.
In the Switch 2 version.
Right. But there's just more, and as more and more games, this inspired so many copycat kind of games. And some of those did have good ideas, good quality of life ideas.
Sure.
It's like, Animal Crossing, why don't you do this?
That's why the next one is going to be such an interesting thing to watch.
Yeah.
And see what happens because they're probably going to be considering all of that.
Right.
For the next Animal Crossing.
Yeah, they have an impossible task.
But that's the thing. They really do have this impossible task, and I don't think anything could capture that phenomenon that this game had, and it's up to no one. It's literally because of a thing that happened that no one could have predicted. So I mean, good on them for having an update and making it so that people can get back in, like trying to bridge the gap and have some Animal Crossing stuff now because there probably isn't going to be a new game for a really long time. So like good on them for doing that. But yeah, not sure if this is really 100% accomplishing like that now everybody that played in 2020 is jumping back into this game.
Tell me about your interest in like the personality side of things.
Well, this game is noted for that. New Horizons is like very boring in terms of the villagers. It's like those villagers fit into these 5 archetypes. I was pretty disappointed when we scanned an amiibo and Lil Tulin showed up.
Yeah, like the bodybuilder.
And he just fit into the bodybuilder archetype with the same 5 lines that he says about bodybuilding. And Yeah, it really lacks a lot of that, like the very like quirky personality traits of.
So this was never really something that I got into in previous Animal Crossing. So just explain for me, like, is it just there were more variety?
I think that the villagers were just weirder.
They had more personality.
They had a lot more personality,
Okay.
and they would do like really weird say weird things or do quirky things.
Right.
It didn't feel like it was this very like set archetype either. Like yes, you still had those kinds of personality types, but it didn't seem as scripted and as formulaic.
Because I just don't know how they solve for that in a game where people are gladly going to spend 1,000 hours. Like, how do you not have like, short of it literally being an AI chatbot? How do you? Now the wheels are turning.
I don't know. Technology exists.
How do you?
Figure it out.
How do you not? Do you just lock localization in the room and be like, don't come out until you've got a million lines of dialogue? Like, how do you solve for that?
I don't know. I'm not a developer. They can figure it out. But if you're going to build a game in a world like this where you expect people to spend that much time in, you better make it an interesting place.
And that's why I never at some point I know that I'm talking to a spreadsheet, and I don't find that very fun or interesting, and I don't find that.
I can't remember any of these villagers in my town, like in this game.
Yeah.
Whereas I remember some of the villagers in my town in New Leaf, like very well.
Okay.
Like, you know, I had like villagers that I was like, I really. That stupid Tiffany cat that was kind of slutty, like that was great.
that was great.
Or that reindeer, Julius,
Sure
that
was.
unicorn, Julius the unicorn. Like they had all those weird animals, and it's like that was the fun part, you know. If you're gonna ask me to exist in this world, you got to make it interesting.
Okay.
And it can't just be up to me. Like I made my world as interesting as I could. Like I terraformed the crap out of that place.
Okay. I guess I lean towards like I like the customization. That's what I come to this series more for than than the other side of it.
No, I actually don't. I mean, I like it, but I found the terraforming to be extremely overwhelming. And I do still. So now that even the thought of like re-terraforming my island or doing anything to remodel what I have is like, there's no way. There's no way I'm doing that. Like not a chance in hell that I would remodel any of the stuff that I built because it was such a feat. And again, it was because we had like 24 hours a day at home doing nothing at all except that.
That was just a very slow process if you're really invested in
and
that.
then we had that time.
Yes.
Nowadays, there's no way you would be able to do that. So that part of it was just like they really over-indexed on that, you know. Whereas the world they should be building for you lacked a lot of personality. So I mean, they could just rebalance it. I think that would be fine. Like they did it once already in New Leaf. I don't understand why that would be hard to do again. So yeah, if they just wanted to rebalance it a little bit, I think that would be fine.
All right. We asked our Patreon community if this update got them all back in. They got a variety of answers, so let's see what everybody had to say, starting with Elite Peach. Yes, I started playing regularly again once the update was announced. I'm someone who plays each Animal Crossing for years after launch, but I had slowed down and wasn't playing very often until then. Now that the update is finally here, it's been so fun ordering the new items and decorating the hotel. I'm crafting and cooking more now that it is snappier. I'm not only happy to be playing again, but I'm happy to see so many others returning or starting for the first time.
Yeah.
Quintet says, no, Animal Crossing is a closed chapter for me.
See?
I tried the expansion, but I missed the feeling it had 6 years ago. Back then, the world felt different, and so did my life. That sense of escape it gave me just isn't there anymore. Animal Crossing no longer fits who I am now. That said, the Switch 2 update is very strong.
That is so true. That is such a perfect comment.
And finally, Midna Shorty says, with over 300 hours in the game and DLC, I feel like I've done enough, and I don't think this will get me restarted. But I can't resist the Zelda item, so I've been going in every day to order the maximum 5.
Yeah.
I already have the Zelda Tears of the Kingdom outfit on and invited Minoru to my campsite. I also found Rossetti right away, and it's interesting that he's, quote, nice now.
I know.
I hear some people mention they miss the days when the villagers would be mean.
Yes, the mean villagers, mean Rossetti. We need that back. We totally need that back. I agree.
Bring microaggressions back to Animal Crossing.
No, it was macroaggressions.
Okay.
They were just legit aggressive.
Aggro-maxing?
Aggro-maxing,
Yes.
yeah.
We're talking about Rick maxing later. Yes. Wow. we have a bunch more games that we have been playing. We're going to get to those in just a moment. But first, got to shout out our second sponsor for the episode. This episode is sponsored by Turtle Beach.
Wow.
And just like with Animal Crossing, you know, we all have these memories of turning on our favorite game for the first time. And those are some of those most special memories that we have. But we can still, you know, still new games coming out, and you can still make those great memories. You want to gear up for those, specifically with gear from Turtle Beach. And we are specifically talking about the Gen 3 Stealth 700 headset.
And this is our headset. We use this headset for all of our gaming sessions.
Yeah.
I was playing Ghost of Yotei with this headset, and the sound design in that game is so beautifully done. And yeah, it's like crystal clear, super immersive surround sound. It's just like the best, and no complaints. I've been using this headset for so long, and it's really awesome.
Yeah, it's really the best of both worlds where, you know, just on a technical side, it is really impressive to have something that can do surround sound, have everything be so crisp. Like there's just sounds that you miss if you are like,
Yes.
like, oh, we've got a great sound bar, or like whatever. Like there are just some things you're missing if you are not playing with headphones, so you can properly appreciate all of the sound design of a game using great headphones like this. So, you know, that's one side of things, but then just like on the more functional side, it's also got that completely maxed out where it's so comfortable, fits over the ear, completely over the ear.
Over 80 hours of battery life is so good and important.
Is incredible. You know,
Yeah.
you can be connected to different devices. You don't have to go, I need to go into my thing and so to deactivate this and reactivate this. Like that sucks. Nobody wants to do that. You don't have to do that with this headset. So it's got the entire thing covered.
You can also connect it to your phone too.
Yeah.
So you can, if you
All sorts
just
of
want to
things.
use it for, you know, regular, you know, listening to a podcast, our podcast.
This podcast right now.
You can listen to that on a wonderful Turtle Beach headset.
Yes.
Hear us in surround sound.
So head to turtlebeach.com and use code KITKRYSTA for 10% off your entire order. That's 10% off your order at turtlebeach.com with promo code KITKRYSTA. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them, and please support our show and tell them we sent you. Get the ultimate immersive gaming experience with Turtle Beach today. New year, new gear.
And we'll put the link in the description and also right here with a QR code for you to scan.
Yes. All right, back to more games we have been playing. I've been checking out the Switch 2 version of Dynasty Warriors Origins,
Yes.
which was a game that came out last year on some different platforms. It was my number 4 game of the year last year. I loved this game. I was excited that they were doing a Switch 2 version, but I did have some questions about how it would run because this game is really like pushing the number of characters, number of enemies on the screen. And I'm glad to say that it's mostly a very good version of this game. There are a couple settings that like you should know about, like going into it. Like they do have options for different like frame rate options. There is one where the frame rate is uncapped, and then there's another one where the frame rate is capped at 30 frames per second. I would say definitely do not choose the 30 frames. It's not a, you know, we talked about how like not every 30 frames is a good 30 frames.
Right.
Like the Final Fantasy VII Remake 30 frames is awesome.
Yeah.
This is not a good 30 frames. So I would say just go with the uncapped one.
So they'll be dynamic.
It does have some variation in it, but for the most part, like it's pretty smooth, I thought. And you know, there were times where I was actually pretty impressed with it. I'm more impressed with, like, I haven't seen them have to really like reduce the number of objects on the screen, that was my main concern. And there's also not really like, you know, some games when you go from TV to handheld, you get a loss of sharpness of the picture. Like Assassin's Creed is one that specifically did that, where you could really tell, like, okay, they're making a compromise here. Like it looked just as sharp on handheld as it did on the TV. So I'm pretty pleasantly surprised with this. I think you just can't expect that it's going to be like a 1-for-1 carryover from the PS5 because I think it's a pretty demanding game. Yeah. But I actually played this game. I played a couple missions on the Switch 2 just to get a feel for it, and then I just went back to the PS5 version because I was like, no, wait, this game's awesome, and I still had stuff to do on the PS5, so I just kind of kept playing, and I was just like, oh yeah, like this game. You know, sometimes you have games that are on your top 10 list, and it's like, oh, maybe this was too low or this was too high. Like, no, it was like this deserved to be super high on my list. So now I'm going to
I was going to say, you're going to game
keycard
share.
you. Or, I'm sorry, virtual
game card. The Switch version to me, I did watch you play, and I played a little bit of like the beginning, but I am interested in playing this more and kind of doing that comparison between this and Hyrule Warriors, because those are kind of the only Muso type games that I've played. But from what I saw so far, it looks great. Yeah, you're totally right. The density of enemies on screen or things on the screen is like really, really impressive. Yeah. And yeah, I'm excited to see like what it actually feels like to play this game. Like there's probably a lot more depth to it than a Hyrule Warriors, for example.
Yes.
So
I think this game is significantly better than the Hyrule Warriors games. You know, that's my take as somebody who's played a lot of Dynasty Warriors over the years. But Dynasty Warriors was in a really bad place. Like after like maybe 5, there were like 5 more entries after that I kind of checked out and I was like, these kind of suck. So for them to come back with this big, new game in Origins, like I was pretty hyped.
Yeah.
Like more than ever, like they have really captured the feeling of being in this overwhelmingly large battle. And the way a lot of the missions are set up is like, first of all, like they're on these really big maps, and you were noting that as a contrast of Hyrule Warriors, where it's like, oh, that just looks like a much bigger volume of space that you have to deal with. So, they'll often have this kind of format where like early on you're going around, you're kind of, dealing with, the enemy fortresses and kind of cutting off their reinforcements. But then kind of near the end, there will often be this really big culminating battle in like a big open space.
Yeah.
And like there's something about the way they do like the sound design and like there's always this moment.
The music is so different than what I expected.
There's this moment where you charge into battle and it's like the vibration starts, like the camera starts, like you can feel like the ground shaking.
Of like the footfalls.
So many people are like going and it's like,
and you get that sense of like that like, that fighting spirit.
Right, it's like that Lord of the Rings when those big fights happen, you're like, for glory, like there's all of that.
Braveheart.
Like they really it's more than just the number of guys on screen. Like they have really like maximized
like
that
the drama
that
of that
moment to be like really exciting, and it is.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that's great that is a little bit different at times from some of the other games is like you're obviously like one of the most powerful things. You're basically like a god because you're just like clearing out hundreds of guys. But when you get into that big kind of finale moment, you can't just rely on your overwhelming strength. Like you do have to be a bit smart and strategic because you can get overwhelmed by the number of guys that are coming at you. And there's kind of more like gradations of guys and some of those just like bosses, like they'll do these like sort of battle strategy techniques where it's like, okay, if you don't take him out in the next minute, he's going to unleash this thing and they're going to shoot you with catapults or, this thing's going to happen. And those are like really like high tension moments where it's like, oh, I need to cut through this mass of people ahead of me and get to the guy and take him out before the timer goes out. Because otherwise, like I'm going to be really in a bad position to get through this battle. So like they have just really honed in on like what I think that is the best that this series can be, and like really tapped into that. So there's also like this is based on a historical like scenario of the Three Kingdoms, and they go really deep into that, like so deep that sometimes I'm interested in that, but sometimes I'm like, oh, okay, you're going a bit.
Yeah, I don't understand what
you're
going
saying. a bit too far.
There's no Chinese.
So that's something that I actually want to go back and ask them about this because I'm curious that in the voices you can choose either Japanese or English, but obviously this is a game that said historical China.
Yeah.
And
I would love to play this game in Chinese.
That was the same issue that I had on the PlayStation 5, and when I said that, there were people who came out and said, hey, I think on the Xbox and the PC, it actually offers a Chinese language option.
Oh, weird.
And I don't know this. My guess is that they were, maybe the Xbox and PC versions were available in Chinese-speaking regions, whereas the PlayStation and Switch versions are not. So maybe they're looking at it from like a compliance kind of market.
Oh, that's terrible.
Versus like a content point of view, which is like, I want to experience this in the content of the setting that I am immersing myself in.
Exactly, yeah.
So I think that's a big miss.
That's a huge miss.
I will write to them. I really hope that they can patch this in because again, like in terms of getting completely immersed in that, like that is cutting me off a little bit.
Especially if they're going so deep into the the historical aspects of the time and place.
Yes.
Not to have the original language that this historical event takes place in seems to be a huge oversight.
Yeah.
So hopefully they're able to add that to the Switch 2 version, because I'd love to experience this in Chinese, and I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that their take on the historical side, because there are a lot of things that they are like really recreating, like story beats down to the very small detail. But then again, like all the characters look is very stylized.
The music, I was going to say, is like basically like rock music.
Right,
it's not traditional.
Were you expecting like traditional Chinese music or something?
Maybe,
like, because it's like heavy metal.
It's heavy metal, and I love it. Actually, it's actually very good.
And it's really good.
It's really, really good. Yeah, it definitely adds to the drama. And that sense of like, I want to fight. You do kind of want to fight. You want to like cut down people.
Right.
So I give him a lot of kudos for that, because that's an area of Hyrule Warriors that I think is missing, is the drama of the battle. Like it never feels big enough. It never feels like you take down a boss, it doesn't feel that satisfying because it's just some other boss, any other old boss on the screen. It doesn't feel like there was tension.
No, and I had so many battles, even in like the last week, of going back to my more advanced save of like, I would make it to that final point, and there would just be like this seesawing battle of like, I'm trying to like make an impact and cut through, but they keep sending reinforcements, and he keeps doing these battle strategies that make them stronger, and like these would just go back and forth, and like you finally do it, like
yeah, because like, it feels satisfying.
Sense of accomplishment.
Satisfying.
And there were a lot of times where like I didn't do it. Like I would die, or like one of my other generals would die, and you get a game over. It's like, oh no, we have to go back.
Yeah, there's like a sense of loss and a sense of accomplishment.
You can get really sucked into that. So we actually have a question on this game from Oxnard. I love the Warriors games for Zelda and Fire Emblem, but I haven't tried the original Dynasty Warriors series. I love these kinds of games and want to start with the right one. If I try it, is the best way to start already on Switch, or do you think an upcoming title will be better? Thank you. So there's this game that's out at the end of this week, but then they did also announce a remake of Dynasty Warriors 3, which is probably one of my favorite classic games. I would say get this one. I don't think we know yet enough about 3 to know, like, have they modernized that? There are probably some good ways they could modernize that game. They haven't said, but I think this game is just like, again, I think this is like the best representation of what this series can be right now. And I'm so happy they did it, because it just seemed like for a long time they were just kind of content to circle the drain, honestly.
Yeah.
With a lot of these games that were just lackluster and not exciting. They just seemed to like lose the eye of the tiger with this series, but they got it back.
Yeah.
So that's perfect.
That's awesome.
I've also been playing Gran Turismo 7.
Nice.
And it's been a long time since I played a Gran Turismo game. Probably Gran Turismo 4 on, I think that was a PS2 one.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because that was such a big series for Sony back in the day. Like that was one of the, marquee PlayStation series. But over time, it kind of faded away a little bit. And I think part of that was like Forza.
I was going to say Forza kind of took a lot of the luster from Gran Turismo.
Exactly, and there were some things that they were actually doing better than Gran Turismo.
Right.
And, then there was, I think this kind of like really realistic simulation kind of fell out of favor, because it's like, oh, well, we can do more fun racing that's more accessible for people. So I think that's just my guess of like, more people gravitated to these racing games that had a lot of details, but it was not so like rooted in hardcore reality. Mm-hmm. Because I like these games, but I definitely have a cap of like how far I can go in them. And they have these things, you pick your car, you can drive your car, but you have to do these license tests. And the license tests
I remember this now.
It seems like insultingly basic. It's like drive in a straight line and stop here.
But it's really hard.
Or like go through this turn and try and beat this time. And it's just a basic turn, no problem. Then you just skid out and it's like, wait, I can't.
Cars are really hard to drive.
Wait, this is like the basic. I'm in like a Honda Civic on this basic test and I can't even do this turn. Like what's going on? So like it can be a really humbling game, because it's like, oh, we all drive cars. We know how to drive a car.
What kind of car are you driving in this game?
So this is what I like about Gran Turismo. kind of the most is like they really let you get these very like down to earth, like normal cars.
Are you driving a Prius?
Yes, I am.
Oh my God, amazing.
So I drive a Prius in real life. I'm not a car guy in real life at all, but it's like, oh, that's kind of cool to, get a Prius and drive that thing around. But it's like they just have so much like love for all types of cars.
Yeah.
And there's these missions that you go on where you get these like really like heartfelt, like, oh my gosh, the Japanese compact car. Let me tell you why these are so incredible and why these are all-time classic cars. It's like, wow, okay. Like that's not something it in these other games. It's usually like, how do I race to get like the crazy supercar, the concept car, or the Ferrari?
I need a Ferrari.
I need the McLaren. And it's like in this, it's like I actually don't really want to progress past like cars that we see on the road.
Yeah.
Like, and not a lot of other games like even care about that at all. Like they don't. It's like, why would you like you might get like a Mustang or something to start with. It's like this is like no. I'm starting in like a '65 like Mini Cooper that has like
That's a great car.
under like 100 horsepower. It's like it's crazy.
Somebody has a '65 Mini Cooper in my building, and it's like the cutest thing.
Yeah.
It's like a tiny little yellow car.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
So the racing itself, it doesn't seem that different to me, but there is kind of a style to the progression of Gran Turismo that's really cool. One of the reasons I got this game was I saw some story of like, oh, there's more people playing Gran Turismo 7 now than when it first came out. And I was like, wait, what? And I guess, they've been, doing a lot to add to this game on the online side. They're doing, online missions and stuff. I haven't really gotten into that. I've been doing more of the single player stuff. So I was like, oh, might be a good time to get back into Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
And, they have so many cars that you can get of the very humble ones down to these supercars. And something that's new that they added is for every car manufacturer, they have this kind of like historical, like through the years kind of thing.
Oh, cool. So you like look at Toyota.
I was doing that. I was going through the Toyota one. It just kind of goes and goes and goes, and it's incredibly detailed.
That's kind of fun.
I was like, that's like if you were like a car nut, like that would be really interesting to learn about all of that. So like there are a lot of games that, let you race, that let you get a lot of cars, but like this has always been the hallmark of just like the love for every type of car out there that you just don't see other games have.
Yeah,
so
that's really cool.
Again, like I have a limit to how far I can take this. Like once you get into because that's what I used to do in the old cars. It's like, all right, I got this car. Now you soup it up. It's like, I want to change out the muffler. I'm going to change out the tire, change out the brakes. And then it gets too fast. And it's like, oh,
it's hard to drive.
I actually overdid this.
Rice rocket?
There is like a balance.
You making a rice rocket?
There is a balance to getting the right kind of car to drive the right kind of way, and not just like, oh, I need to set everything to 11. Like you actually shouldn't do that.
Where's your NOS button?
There's no NOS in this game. Are you kidding?
That's boring.
Are you kidding? I don't know.
Driving a Prius at like 65 miles an hour.
So I'm pretty surprised. Like I'm surprised because I expected to just be like, oh, let's just check in on Gran Turismo and see what it is. But it's like I'm kind of into it.
Okay.
It's kind of cool. I've also been playing. Boy, I got a long list. I went back to Banjo Kazooie.
Because of Grant Kirkhope.
Well, because of a couple reasons. So I got this analog 3D, and I also got the 8BitDo controller for that, which has been great. It lets me play wireless, but it has like the configuration of a modern controller. So not the three-prong.
Right.
Not the three-prong thing. Which
yes.
I was like, is this going to feel weird? Is this going to be strange to play a 64 game with this kind of controller? And it was for like a minute, but then after that I was like, no, this is great. And again, like I think for more people who didn't grow up with a 64,
it's like not as awkward.
Playing the three-prong is just like, wait, what?
Yeah, it's weird.
What is this?
Yeah.
So I like that. The thing that's great, I didn't even know of this about it. This controller also works with the Switch NSO.
Oh, well, that's cool.
So Banjo-Kazooie is a game that I had growing up and I got rid of, unfortunately. I was like, oh, I kind of want to go back to that because we had Grant Kirkhope on, and I've just been revisiting all these N64 games. I was like, wait, that's on NSO and I can play it with this controller.
Nice.
Because I have an issue playing N64 NSO games on just the base controller because no system requires a specialized controller like the Nintendo 64. So I was like, oh, now I can actually do this.
Right.
And as a follow-up to the Grant Kirkhope episode, there's been a lot more people talking about Banjo-Kazooie in our Discord, and a lot of people have been saying like, "Oh yeah, I always knew this was better than Mario 64." So I had to do my own research, and get to the bottom of this myself.
And the bottom of it was the conclusion.
Well, I remember, again, I played this in the moment when it came out, and I was like, this is good. This is a really good 3D platformer, but I would have never thought that it's better than Mario 64. But who knows? Like time changes, taste changes. I've really been enjoying my time going back to it, but I think we all need to take a deep breath before we say that this is better than Mario 64.
So no.
Let's be real, people.
Oh, wow.
No, it's not better than Mario 64. No.
No. For you.
No.
For you.
There is a lot. That's not to say that this is a bad game or that I don't like it. Like I'm really liking it, and I think I can appreciate it now, having like a bit more distance to it. It is doing a lot of things that Mario 64 did, but like I really appreciate like there's a lot more moves that you get as you go on. The levels that you're in are very big. It's got that rare collectathon thing that's very fun. It had a lot of personality, that very kind of British rare personality that era had so much of. I'm like a couple worlds into it. I would like to, if I can, to just I'd like to try and finish this game, honestly.
It's probably not that long, right?
And then there's the sequel, Banjo Tooie, which is also on NSO. I don't think I've ever played that game, so I kind of want to...
You can look at that game, too.
I kind of want to check that out. As I understand it, so there are these, in every level, there are like these 5 little weird little Muppet-looking things called Jinjos that you have to find, and you get them, they go, Jinjo! And I was like, I kind of like these things. And then, as I understand it, they're a bigger focus in Banjo Tooie. Like you go to the Jinjo village and you speak to the Jinjo elder. It's like, I'm kind of into that.
Oh, the Jinjos.
I like a Jinjo. I'm into Jinjos.
Where's Banjo 3E?
Oh, well, that's not happening anytime soon.
Never.
There was the Xbox 360 Banjo, Nuts and Bolts. That was about building stuff. I played that. That was cool. But I was like, this is
not Banjo. It's
a little different.
Yeah.
It's a little different. And then there's Banjo fans who are always holding a torch for these games to come, but I'm not sure that's a super big priority for
I don't think it
Microsoft right now. But it's great. Like I really like it a lot.
Accessible now, with the Switch NSO. Very accessible.
You need a controller. I bet there's a lot of people who try and play this game with a normal controller. Like, what the heck am I doing here?
Yeah.
Forget this.
But then you have that. You can get all these things. These are all accessible things.
I have it, but I bet a lot of people
can get.
Won't bother.
Right.
Another game on 64 NSO that I checked out is Blast Corps, which is another game that I didn't have, but as I was going through all the 64 games, I was like, that's one that I have always heard about, that I know a little bit about, and that I've tried a couple times, and I never was able to get into. So let's really give this a proper go. So this is another rare game, and has a pretty unique concept, which is you're on these big kind of top-down maps, and they're like transporting like a nuclear missile. And you're in some sort of vehicle, and it's like, all right, you need to, bulldoze through everything that's in the way. You're going through like a city, you need to bulldoze the buildings because this missile's just going to go on a straight line, and
if it hits something,
if it hits the thing,
it's exploding.
It's going to blow.
I get it.
So there's a variety of things that you're in. That's something I didn't know about. I always thought you were just in this bulldozer. I was like, well, that's kind of boring. But there's actually like these big like Pacific Rim robots that can like either punch
through the thing.
Or they can jump up and they can like crash down.
That's fun.
Or there's one that it's like shoots, like it's got like arms, like shoots arms on the left and right. There's one that's like a little RC car that's like really fast. So I was like, oh, that's cool. So I was doing pretty good. I was having a lot of fun with this until I got to a real like rage quit level, which was not that deep into the game, but it was the idea of this level was, you need to get your vehicle on this train. You need to get out of your vehicle, drive the train across this bridge, and then there's this cool moment where you go across the bridge and you can see the missile on this other bridge coming. It's like, oh, I better hurry.
You better go faster than the missile.
I'm going across. And then you have to get back in the vehicle, and then you have to push these boxes of TNT into the buildings to explode it before
the missile
nuke comes through and gets there. And you just have so little time. Like, you have to be so perfect, like with every single second. And the controls are just not there to let you be that precise. So I completely rage quit.
How many times did you try?
Oh, I spent a good hour on that level.
No!
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I'm really close. I think I can do it. And by the end of that hour, I was like, you know what? Forget this. So
1 hour?
So I can't. mission accomplished. I came away with a greater understanding and appreciation of Blast Corps. But man, never again.
Really? You're never going to touch it again?
No, you have a choice of different levels that you can do, so maybe
Just don't do that one
Maybe
again.
I'll go down a different path or something, but for now I need to cool down off of Blast Corps a little bit.
Did you throw a controller?
No.
Okay.
I don't throw controllers because they're very expensive.
That's true. They're very expensive.
But had to just stand up and pace around a little. You know?
Did you spray some expletives?
I may have.
Oh.
Yeah, I may have. So that's a long list of things I've been playing.
Wow.
I have been seeing you on your little, when I get your little notifications.
You're a stalker.
My invasive notifications.
You're a stalker.
Tells you when you're playing and what you're playing.
When and
what? Why is Nintendo letting people do this?
That's weird.
This is stalking.
I don't think that's a good thing unless you want that person
You should be able to, you should have to approve this.
I know. I didn't approve this.
No, I just did it.
You did?
I just did it.
I know. What if it says that something I'm playing was embarrassing?
H word?
No.
There was something about like dudes and feet. There was some dude feet game.
Dude feet game.
Yes.
I saw that.
There was something about that.
RGT was talking about that.
Yes, he was showing that off.
And it was like a hunky man with a big hunky foot.
Yeah. That could be
your
what
face.
you're playing. But no, you've been playing Skyrim.
I've been playing Skyrim.
Okay.
Not a hunky foot game. But I decided to check this out because there has been such disparaging things that people have said about this game on Switch 2.
Oh, what did they say?
People were like, "Oh, it's so buggy and so awful and so terrible."
Terrible.
It is made by Bethesda, so there's the jank. I have not experienced the jank though. It's running fine for me. I don't know.
I mean, I saw some of the usual stuff of like, oh, this isn't 60 frames per second.
Who cares?
Digital
It's
Foundry
a game from 2008.
Digital Foundry told me this isn't 60 frames per second. That would not deter me though.
No, I love this game, and I've played this game obviously before, but it like kind of holds up, and there's something very charming about a Elder Scrolls game from 2008 where you're just like, there's like a simplicity to this where it wasn't burdened by, the trends of what you would do in an open world game, what you would do in this kind of game. Like there wasn't a million of these kinds of games that were trying to copy your game that you were like fighting against. So it was like this purity to it a little bit. And I don't know. I was like sucked in. I of course picked the dark elf, the night elf class where I can do the magics. And, I like it. It's like, there's, again, something very simple about it. But, I'm kind of like going through the main couple of first quests. I'm doing like all the exploration, the world. It looks really nice. Like, obviously you can tell it's a game from a while ago, but they still did a good job remastering it where like the graphics look good. And
yeah, I mean, it's not like this is literally the Xbox 360 version.
No.
Like they have done a lot over the years to modernize the look of Skyrim.
Exactly, yeah. But it's still, it still has that kind of that nostalgic look.
Yeah.
So it feels like, okay, yes, this is like a game from that time.
Sure.
But yeah, I've been having a lot of fun. I like got new spells. I got like the one hand has the spells, one hand has a sword. I'm blasting skeletons and I got to a part where I'm in this like pass, and I've been getting my stuff rocked a little bit by this like arcane mage who just freezes me.
Just gotta go in a different. Just go around it.
Go around it.
Yeah.
I would like a different spell. I would like his spell. The freezy spell looks pretty good. I don't have that.
How about you pick up a sword?
I have a sword.
And?
It's okay. I think
you need a bigger sword.
I actually traded my sword for the mace, I believe, and that's pretty good.
Okay.
I also like the lock picking in the game.
Oh yeah.
It's like tick, 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 tick,
yeah, it's very clicky.
and then like you break the lock, it's like, oh, darn it. So now I have like 150 lock picks because I'm like.
Do you like lock picking mini games in general?
Yes.
Have you ever tried to pick a lock in real life?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
With what? Like a hairpin or something? Like how?
I've done it with like a hair clip.
How do you do this?
You can do it. I've done it with a letter opener. That actually works really well.
How?
I picked the lock in my parents' bedroom with a letter opener.
But how do you do it?
You just jiggle it around until like the mechanism clicks. But it was not like the front door. It was like a door inside
is that
my
lock,
house.
is
so I think that lock is like weaker.
Is Skyrim lockpicking accurate to the real life thing?
I jammed a letter opener in there and fiddled it around to open, so I don't think so.
You broke the door, okay.
The Skyrim is very precise.
Yeah, there's all these little...
You need two things.
Yes,
you need the pick and the thing that turns it.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I really like it though. I would like to heist something in my later on, or like you listen to like the code. Like
you're gonna hack a safe.
You're safe.
You
know,
need the stethoscope.
The stethoscope, and you're like listening to click.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I'm doing that, and I like it. I'm having fun. Like I don't see the issues that the other people are seeing. Honestly,
this is just a forever game.
Yes.
Like this seems like a game that will have a life
forever
in 50 years. It'll be like, oh yes, let's play, and as long they can keep updating it. Let's do another run of Skyrim. Sure.
Yeah, it really does feel like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like a lot of the concepts or the things that you're doing feel like totally out of place or out of date now.
You may not have the new Elder Scrolls in 50 years, so you might have to keep
playing this.
We might still be waiting.
Yeah. Do you even need the new Elder Scrolls when you can just keep playing this game? I would like a new Elder Scrolls.
Okay.
I really like this though. I'm glad I checked it out.
Yeah.
You know, it's like really good. And I don't see these issues that people were talking about. There were so many headlines that were like, this is not worth it. I hate this. Like, okay. I really liked it.
There's more to a game than a frame rate.
Really, yeah, but let's not boil it down to such black and white terms. That's such a sad way to look at the world of video games. To boil it down to that. Like, what about just the feeling of playing this game and being
as somebody who has been playing Nintendo 64 games with frame rates in the teens.
Yeah.
There's more to a game. There's more to a game than a frame rate.
A game with great frame rate and no performance issues is Ghost of Yotei.
Which you finally finished.
Which I finished. I beat this game.
Did we talk about this last week? Did you finish this last week?
No, I just finished this.
Okay.
Yeah, I was in the end chapters last week.
Yeah.
But I did finish it. I found the story to be really, really well done, and then like wondering how they would end it.
Yeah.
Like I thought the ending was like really well done and wrapped up the story in such a great way.
Yeah.
And all the the emotional payoff, the characters that you've grown to be so like attached to. Like I just thought that they did such a good job with how the story wrapped up, and then like the last parts of the game where it was building up towards that final boss fight and everything, like it was amazing. Like truly, there was like some portions of the game where you're like, you finally get to this where the boss, like the final boss castle, I guess, is, and it's like way up in the mountains, or you're like climbing up this mountain, and you're like, that's where he's hiding, like above the clouds, and then you do a whole thing in there, like kind of like a siege kind of thing. And then you get to the boss and you do this great like chase scene on the horse where you can like basically you can like speed up your horse where it like rams into people and just like rams through them.
Oh wow.
And it just feels like so dramatic, like this like big escape out of the castle. It was incredible. I absolutely love this game, and I hope that you'll play it. Are you going to play it?
I will eventually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's so good.
It may not be immediately, but I will.
Yeah, and I think, like, unfortunately, I didn't get to play again a bit,
What was your total play time? Just so I know what I'm getting in it for.
Not that.
30?
Not even.
30-ish?
I think maybe. I putzed around. I was doing, like, side quests. I think like 28, something
all right.
like that. 26.
30. Let's call it 30.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's a very reasonable length experience. And there's tons of side stuff that I didn't do that you can do.
Don't spoil the ending, but is there any kind of like cliffhanger for another one of these, or suggestion that they would continue this?
No.
I didn't. Obviously, I haven't played the game. My feeling is they'll probably move on to something.
I think so.
Else.
I think so.
Now, after two of these.
Yeah, I feel like they should, and they did a good job wrapping up the story in such a
back to Sly Cooper.
Beautiful. Back to Sly Cooper. God, I hope not.
Banjo.
But there you go.
Banjo's Jinjo Adventure.
Banjo. Banjo. Banjo.
Yes.
But yes, loved it. Absolutely loved it. I think you should play it. I don't sleep on this game because I did kind of come out during a weird time last year where we were busy with other stuff.
Busy time, yes.
But it's amazing.
This strikes me as a classic. I got this in the 2026 Black Friday sale. and now I'm going to have the time to play it over Thanksgiving or
Maybe.
something. That's my prediction for when I'll play this.
Yeah.
Kind of a bit of a wait, but
it's amazing.
It sounds like it'll be worth it. Yeah. Wow. That's a lot of games we played.
I know.
What are we doing? How are we doing this?
I don't know. I've also been watching TV. I've been watching the Fallout show.
And?
I love it.
So that just started up again?
No, it started up a couple weeks ago.
Oh.
I just finally got around to it.
Is that, do they do those weekly episodes or do they drop them all at once? How do they do that? Because I'm not watching.
I think it's dropped all at once. Either that or I'm behind.
Okay.
There seems to be many episodes that is available to me now.
So this
Amazon Prime.
This is the like New Vegas side of the story?
This is the New Vegas side. Okay. It's already the first episode, I was like, I'm so hooked again.
Yeah.
Because I was wondering if I would remember anything from last time. And they did a good recap. You know, our guy, Walt Goggins from White Lotus, is in this.
He's still in it.
And he's still in it. He's a very main character.
I
like him.
Are there new characters for this season?
There's some new characters.
Yeah. Do you like them?
There is the character that you meet at the very end of season 1, Lucy's dad, is the guy from Sex and the City. What's his face? Kyle McConnell, the Scottish guy.
The guy from Twin Peaks? Kyle MacLachlan?
Kyle MacLachlan, the guy from Twin Peaks, yes.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a better way to get me excited than saying he's the Sex and the City guy.
But yes, I forgot about Twin Peaks. That's also him.
Oh,
yes, he's old now, but
what?
He's a main character now in the second
main character
season. Very interesting.
Okay.
I like him too. He's good in this show.
He is good.
Very good. He's got the vibe for like the character is really well cast.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
I really like it.
Tell us more about that next week.
I will.
Tell us more about that.
I'll watch more.
Yes. Let's do a couple more questions from Patreon before we get into our big discussion of the Switch 2 Lite. Here's a question from VGM Life. Do you think 2026 will be the year that Dragon Quest XII releases? Or does the release of a major remake like 7 Reimagined mean it's not coming anytime soon? Thanks.
We really haven't...
It's been a long time.
Yeah, we haven't heard that much,
This is now winning the Vaporware sweepstakes,
It is. And now that we already got our Silk Song.
Yeah,
like,
we got a lot of Metroid, Silk Song.
We checked those off the list.
Check these boxes.
This might be the one that's in that stage now.
I don't think it will release this year, but I
think we'll hear more about it.
I wouldn't be shocked if it resurfaces and we see some sort of a trailer and maybe it's dated for next year.
I think next year feels more reasonable to me as well.
And I don't think the re-releases necessarily impact that because they've been really like going fast and furious with those.
Yeah, I think they have a much different team working on
because even like at the end of last year they had the 1 and 2 HD 2D and it was a very short turnaround to this one. So I think they're just like, let's get these games out. Obviously 12 is a much bigger involved new game.
Yeah.
That seems like it's going to be very ambitious and also seems like they kind of needed to start over to some extent.
Yeah, I always get worried when that happens though. It's like when you need to start, it's like a Metroid situation all over again. So hopefully they've righted the ship here.
Yeah. I think if we don't hear or see something from this year, I think I might officially be worried.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if we don't see like a pretty significant update on like where they are now with the game, with some kind of gameplay trailer or some kind of in-depth trailer, I would be a little concerned. For sure.
Yeah. And then Dallas E has the question you've been waiting to hear. Hi squad, my question is literally the same one posed in this tweet. And the tweet is in reference to a Nintendo of America tweet for Kirby Air Riders, simply titled Rick Maxing. And we have this great little video of Rick riding a Rick-themed machine.
Yes.
And the question is, curious about how far up the corporate chain the social media management goes because I need to know if Masahiro Sakurai himself needed to approve the word Rick Maxing.
He did not.
Well, you're here to tell us.
He did not.
He did not.
He did not. No, I mean, when we worked on social for Smash Ultimate, like he basically approved things that were specifically related to like fighter reveals or like actually really just fighter reveals.
Certainly everything pre-launch. He was very involved.
Yeah, very involved in like any sort of actual announcement around like a game detail or a character being added or a game mechanic that he wanted to talk about. A lot of those times, he was really doing that himself through those Sakurai Directs. So it was kind of like we would just, write the tweets off of the Sakurai Directs. And so obviously he approved those because he was in them. Post-launch stuff, like all of the creative things we were doing around like showcasing people's stages,
more
or
engagement-oriented types of
like
posts.
these kinds of like meme farm kind of meme engagement farming kinds of posts, or like showcasing like what a player was doing or stuff like that. Like he didn't see these and didn't care about them. Like he's not going to be mad about this. Like he's probably very happy to see the continued support for the game, and he understands, like he himself, understands the internet very well, and he's probably very aware of these kinds of like engagement, like, oh, these are like memes or funny jokes that the community is, reacting to through some of the social content. So he would be very, very hands off here, but also very like happy to see it.
Yeah.
I don't think they're getting a call like from Sakura, like, don't do this. He wouldn't say that.
Sorry to burst the bubble of radical Funky Kong facts. I have seen this tweet. They'll often take a popular tweet and they'll localize it for different markets.
Yeah.
And not all of them are using the word Rick Maxing.
That's right.
They're probably like, what does this mean?
Exactly.
This is not a thing in our language / market.
But I think it's probably like globally, Rick is a very popular character.
It's a very good video.
It's a very cute video.
I'd like to have that Rick-themed vehicle.
Yeah, so cute. And I'm sure like they can find other ways to make it fit their market.
Right.
Just because you're talking about a fun character from the game,
Okay, the time is here, an hour and a half into this episode,
Whoa!
to get into our big main topic about the Nintendo Switch 2 Lite. So let's do a bit of context for why we're talking about this at all. So people found, and how do people find this stuff? People poking around, just like you're poking around in a lock.
You gotta poke around. You don't know what you're gonna find.
Yes.
There's things that are buried in the code, as they say.
So they're on Nintendo's account portal site. People found that there is a different model code for the Switch 2, which for the base Switch 2 that we all have now is called BEE. And they found that there is another one called OSM, where when you cycle through the different model codes, they will bring up the image of the hardware that it is associated with. And they found that when you use the OSM code, it also shows you an image of a Switch 2, which is leading people to think like, oh, maybe there is some other variation on a Switch 2 that Nintendo hasn't announced, but is getting loaded, slowly getting loaded up into all of these backends in preparation
for something.
For something at some time in the future, maybe not.
Interesting.
Right, and there's been some other kind of speculation around this. Like some people are wondering, like, does OSM stand for ounce small model? Because ounce was reportedly the code name for the Switch 2. So could that be shortened down to ounce small model? Which would that be a Switch Lite? People were pointing out, people keep track of this stuff. People are like, oh, the original Switch, that was HAC. And then there was HAD for the version that had just a better battery.
That's the battery one, yep.
HDH was for the Switch Lite. So this whole experience of, all right, the same family of hardware can have these different model codes depending on what iteration of the hardware it is. This is nothing new to these people who are daily refreshing and hacking the Nintendo account portal page.
Not hacking,
or whatever they're doing.
Tinkering
whatever they're doing.
There. They're just looking at stuff.
It is so foreign to me what people are doing on these websites. It's like, all right, fine, you found this. I'll take your word for it.
That's funny.
So this spawned all sort of discussion, speculation around, what does it mean? What could it be? A lot of people, it seems like it's going to be iterative to one or similar to one of the iterations that we got on the original Switch. So that's either the same model with a better battery. We worked on a couple of those.
Yes.
Remember that? A Lite or an OLED.
Or an OLED.
Or an OLED.
Yes.
And the majority of the conversation does seem to focus around the Lite.
Yes.
Because I think that is, something that at this point it seems like that would be coming sooner than an OLED.
Right.
Logically. Obviously, that's the sequence that happened for the original Switch, and I think if you think about what makes sense for the Switch 2, that would be a progression that makes sense as well for this hardware.
Yeah. So this report is pretty interesting. I mean, my initial reaction is like, well, duh. Like, obviously, Nintendo is going to eventually make a Switch 2 Lite and a Switch 2 OLED. That's almost like a guarantee.
Yeah.
It's not if, it's more so when.
Right.
Is the big question
Right.
that I think, we're most wanting to talk about and maybe look back on some historical stuff and try to figure out when that would be. But like the discovery of potential new hardware iteration code names in their portal, like that's pretty much like a given. Like, yes, they're eventually gonna sell you a Switch 2 Lite. They're eventually going to, for sure, sell you a Switch 2 OLED or a Switch 2 with a better battery. That, of course, they're going to be doing this. Of course, that code exists in their account portal. Like, no duh. So I wasn't, like, super surprised to see these things being found in there. It's more so, like, when would this happen? And what you were saying right now is very true, where it's like logically you have to think about like when is it a right time for them to announce a Switch Lite? When is it a right time for them to introduce an OLED? Like what is the timing that makes the most sense?
Yeah.
And we are in a bit of a different situation than we were for Switch 1. Switch 2, although it's selling very well, it's doing really well in like certain markets like Japan, it is very expensive. So we are in a bit of a different scenario where Nintendo could be considering timing in a slightly different way than they did with Switch, with the original Switch.
Did you groan at all knowing that we were back into the Nintendo hardware cycle? Not this already.
It's not as dramatic as like a whole new Switch,
right.
Like the new generation of
right.
of hardware. But yeah, it is like hardware iterations. And when we were at Nintendo and we learned that we would be launching, like a Switch Lite or a Switch OLED, we did groan internally because it's like, oh, it does feel like another hardware launch. You kind of have to do the same work, even though it's not as exciting as like Switch 1 to Switch 2. So yeah, I did have a moment of like, oh wow, okay, this is like could be happening sooner than we think.
Yeah. So let's refer to history here.
Yes, let's.
And let's take a look at when hardware revisions were released for kind of in the more modern era of Nintendo hardware. And then we want to come back because you have some stories about launching the Switch Lite that could be valuable for this conversation. So the Switch Lite was released in September 2019. It was announced about 2 months in advance. So obviously the original Switch came out in 2017. So there's a couple years of separation there.
Yep.
That was $200. So $100 less versus the $300 base model that was out then. The Switch OLED, that came out in September of 2021. So that was another 2 years after that.
Yep.
3DS XL, that was released in July 2012 when the original 3DS released of March 2011. So that's a bit of a tighter window there. That's like, a year and less, not quite a half. DS Lite was released, so this was an interesting one because it had a different release date in different markets. So it came out in March 2006 in Japan, and the original DS was released in November of 2024. So again, that's about a year and a half.
A year and change.
So it seems to be like between
1.5 to 2 years.
Yes, for Nintendo to do this. So here we are, about 6-ish months, and we're already talking about this now, which is an interesting place to be.
Right.
But tell us again. You worked on the Switch Lite launch, so tell us what was going on with that.
Yeah, that was interesting because we did do so many hardware iterations for DS, 3DS, 3DS XL. So this is not a foreign topic or a foreign strategy for Nintendo. Nintendo's always talking about, the family of systems. They really want the family of systems. Their whole strategy when it comes to hardware, and I think it speaks true for both 3DS, DS, Switch, and I'm sure they're going to roll this into Switch 2 as well. Like when we were launching Switch Lite, the whole idea is like we need to give people the low end, the middle, and the top end. And so that you have this family of systems where someone can come in, like the messaging point was always like someone can come in and be like, I choose to enter here because this is what my budget can afford. And what was interesting about the Switch Lite like launching that system was like, yes, there was a lot of conversation about, oh, we want to have a more cost-effective option for people. We also need to like kind of work our way around the idea of like you kind of lose the unique value proposition because the Switch, the whole tagline for Switch is like home console you can take on the go. It's like, well, you just lost.
Now you can't.
The home console part of this altogether 2 years in. How are you going to message around that? And we had so many discussions about this. Remember those big meetings with Reggie where we would dance around like, well, what are we calling original Switch? We can't call it original Switch. We can't call it the home console Switch because it's also a handheld. So we ended up with the word flagship Switch.
Yes.
So that took like months.
Oh,
like we were dancing around different words, different ways to brand it. Like how do we make it feel like, this is the thing, the main thing we want people to get. But if you only had $200, you can still get in. But we were so terrified of confusing and also like diluting the unique product point of like, wait, with the Switch Lite, you can't use that tagline anymore. Right. We've been drumming the tagline for 2 years. How can we move away from it? So that was really interesting. So then it became like flagship Switch, and then the Switch Lite was like your entry point Switch. We talked a lot about the different colors. Remember, it came in that blue, the yellow.
There's a lot more emphasis on bold colors.
There was an emphasis on bold colors and like more like that, like customize it for your life. Yeah. We did that event in New York. I have beautiful photos where like it was like this. We had this like fun idea of making all of the floral arrangements color Pantone matched to the colors, cool. And we did all these photos where you like held the. Like that blue one up to these blue lilies that we had. We had like the yellow and the gray. Like and it was like on a beautiful rooftop in New York because the vibe.
The photos of that looked amazing.
The vibes are supposed to be like this, like very sophisticated, like beautiful thing that you do want to take with you, carry with you. Yeah. Like you want to take it out of your bag and like sit on a park bench and have it look really lifestyle and really cool, like a cool, pretty piece of tech. Like that was the whole vibe for that. That was fun. And then the other thing that was really interesting, which is why we were so into like the look and feel of it, was because the whole idea was we knew Animal Crossing was coming the year later, not even a year later, like, in March of that year, right, 2020. And we were like, we know this new audience is going to come to Nintendo for Animal Crossing, an audience that probably doesn't have a Switch, didn't buy the original Switch, won't like the original Switch because it's maybe like too much tech for them. Like they're only coming to play the one game and they've never touched a video game, hardware before. So they want a different way, maybe a cheaper way, but also like a cuter way in. And so we're like, this is it. We'll use Switch Lite when we market Animal Crossing, we'll market it with Switch Lite. And we did a whole thing where, like, the Switch Lite was supposed to be like a companion to Animal Crossing. And that was way before Animal Crossing came out. Yeah. So these are like, I think telling the story is like, these are the considerations that we had back in those days of like thinking about when was the right time to launch Switch Lite within the life cycle of Switch 1 or flagship Switch, as we called it. And like those were the considerations and the strategy that was going into making that decision. So now you have to take this historical context and like place it into where we are now with Switch 2. So obviously, like you were saying, we're very early in terms of this like 1.5 to 2 year timeline that we were talking about for all of these other hardware revisions. Like Switch 2 has not even been out for a year yet, right. And we're already maybe seeing whispers of a Switch Lite.
Yeah, so that's why I said, at the top of this episode, when I first saw this, I was very dismissive of like, oh, there's all sorts of things that are on those websites. But as I started to think about it more, like it did start to make sense. And like I don't think this is not us predicting this. This is not us reporting this. But like you can talk yourself through the thought process of Nintendo launching this system very soon, and it makes sense.
That's right.
For them to do that. And by very soon, I am talking about the end of this fiscal year in like 2 months.
Yeah.
Which sounds insane to say, but when you talk through the chain of logic of why they would do this and how they would do this, it's like, okay, that could happen. Again, we're not predicting this, but it makes sense.
Yeah, it could happen in the context.
So it's worth talking about.
Yeah, it definitely.
Why they would want to do this.
It could happen in the context of how they think about these hardware revisions, and we've just outlined how they thought about Switch Lite in the context of the Switch 1 life cycle. So let's bring that into the same logic here. So family of systems, entry point for any person's budget. They do not have this right now for Switch 2 all.
And they know that's a glaring flaw that they have.
And they know it's a glaring, and especially because Switch 2 is their most expensive hardware to date.
Right.
They have this very high price point, especially in regions that's not Japan.
Yes.
People are paying upwards of
their biggest regions.
Biggest regions are paying a hefty price to be, to enter into this new generation.
Right. And that's something they know in the back of their mind is this first 6 months have been great, they've been breaking records, but they have to know, like, at a certain point, we're going to run out of people who will gladly, run out to spend $500 on this thing. The number of people is just...
It's a finite thing.
It's obviously smaller than people who would run out to buy something that's $300. It just, logically, in terms of economics, it just makes sense.
Yeah, and they probably got a bit of a sense of this. Again, we don't have any, true data yet.
We're still waiting for this. It's been a long time.
We're still waiting for
the holiday data.
There has been some reports that have come out that indicates that, especially in these regions outside of Japan where the Switch 2 is at this higher price point, that it's a bit softer than what Nintendo may have liked. Obviously, they're doing great in Japan, but they do want to keep it, healthy, and they want to keep
momentum.
Momentum, exactly.
That was
trying to not say that word again.
Well, that was so much of what our job was. It was either building momentum
or maintaining
keeping momentum. Or because we knew the hardest thing was once the momentum is lost, that is the hardest thing to start it up again.
Yeah.
So rather than get to a point where they had this big momentum and it started to taper off and it's we have to wait a year and a half. It's no, bang the button now and keep the momentum going.
Exactly.
Because it's a very different situation now, which is why it's interesting to know that kind of year and a half to 2 year mark, but it doesn't really apply here. There are a lot of differences in what they're doing that make the situation different. So they can't lower the price on this Switch 2. There's more reports of them saying they have to raise the price.
Exactly.
So, the flexibility that they had with the Switch, they do not have with the Switch 2. Mm-hmm. With the Switch, they chose not to lower the price. Yeah. They certainly had the option a lot of times to drop it. They did not. They don't even have that option now. Right. We cannot drop the price, and we are under pressure to potentially raise the price.
Yeah, with this whole components thing.
Right.
It seems like it's very dicey in terms of even keeping the original price
of
a Switch 2.
So long term, you think of the curve, it's eventually, those price-sensitive consumers will come in when we can drop the price. No, that option is off the table.
Yeah.
That's an option that we don't have.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, so they need to bring in something at this lower price range to keep the momentum going before the momentum is lost.
Yeah, exactly.
And another thing that's important is they're still stuck in this in between where if you go to a store, there's still original Switch 1s out there.
Yes.
And it's fine for a while. There's still games. They still have games that are coming out on dual SKU. But having a Switch 2 does help them to make that transition pick up a little bit faster. Because I think that's something they would like to do sooner than later. Is let's just be done
pull the plug
with the original Switch, and we don't have to straddle, and we're not we're dedicating shelf space to this thing that's not really getting us anywhere, or we're selling this system to a consumer who's stuck in this older ecosystem, and we want them to be in this newer ecosystem because then they're going to be set up long term. Mm-hmm. So if you can bring in a Switch 2 Lite that's significantly cheaper, then it's we don't need to have these things out here because now that is serving that need that we had in the market.
Exactly. And I think the other thing is we talked about this already. It's they do have a lack right now of the system selling franchises, but they're holding off potentially coming out with the big 3D Mario or the next Animal Crossing or whatever because they'll want to hold that chip until they are ready to expand the audience. They may be saying right now, looking at these holiday numbers and looking at where they are now with the Switch 2 sales, it's like, maybe we need to expand this audience like sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and then you're in a chicken and an egg of like, you know, is it the game that draws people, or which one is it in terms of like what will actually drive the momentum? But like we know that Nintendo is not averse to taking a bold risk,
right?
And being a little bit gambling-ish with what they're going to do. And this strikes me as like, they're crazy enough to do that.
Yeah, and again, looking back on the launch of Switch Lite in the cycle of the original Switch, like we launched Switch Lite in preparation for Animal Crossing,
right?
Because we knew a big new audience is going to come in. So, do they have some hardware that they software that they think that may expand the audience?
Well, how about Pokemon? How about some kids who might want to play a new Pokemon Gen 10 game?
There you go, right there. You could bundle it,
right?
Do some cute little custom colorway with the Gen 10 Pokemon.
Yeah,
that would be cool. The kids would love it.
Yeah,
the kids could afford it.
Right.
They could afford. Well, it might not be $200.
Some of the parents might be able to afford it. So, like, we talk about this need to have something that's more affordable. So with this, if the lowest price of a Switch 2 now is $450, like, so what do we think we could actually get it to?
So no dock.
So I pulled this, like, how much is a standalone Switch 2 dock? And I was shocked to learn that that's $125.
Right there.
So right there.
You're saving $125.
You're down to $325,
dollars.
Right there. It's like, oh my gosh, why is that dock so expensive? I couldn't believe that.
The fan.
The fan, great, yes, the magnets.
The fan is $100. This plastic is $25.
Right. And the other, you don't have the detachable. Presumably, a Switch 2 Lite would not have
the detachable
Joy-Cons. So there's probably some savings of having a more straightforward. Oh, those expensive magnets! I'm going broke on magnets. Obviously, all of the other components are the same, and we keep hearing like, hey, the price of a lot of those components is going to be going up. So it's like, well, what is a place that they could get this to? But I think if you say like, could they get this thing in at $350?
I think yes.
That seems reasonable. I mean, if you're just going off of the dock alone, and you talk about them potentially being willing to eat some of the differences to gain
more
to keep the momentum to keep the growth going.
And again, you get it in volume versus per unit because you're just gaining a larger audience quicker.
So I don't know that they could get it to $300, but
that seems a little tough.
$350. It's like, okay, and some of it
they could bundle it though. They could do like $350 and you get a game. You get that Mario Kart.
Right. And I mean, and there will be people who will say like, well, that's ridiculous because I paid $300 for my original Switch that had the docks and had all this stuff back in 2017. It's like just
that's 10 years ago.
Times have
almost.
changed.
9 years ago.
Everything is just a lot more expensive. And you compare what would be a Switch 2 Lite at $350 to all these other gaming handhelds. It's like, that's a pretty good deal.
It's not bad. If you want to get your Switch
2 is pretty powerful.
And if you want to get at least one Nintendo hardware to play the first-party exclusives, much easier entry point then.
Yeah.
If you're let's say mainly PC gamer, and you just want to get a Switch 2 to play like just the first-party exclusive. You're playing all your other games, somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like that $350 is much more palatable than the $400 to $500 that you have to pay for a Switch 2 just to play first-party exclusives, right?
So how might this crazy plan play out? Well, I think we all know there's a Nintendo Direct coming up in probably February. Yep. Announce it there. Bang.
There you go.
And it's coming out on whatever the last, day of the day you can ship something in the fiscal year is.
March 29th.
It's coming out on March 29th or
March 30th.
Or whatever. Because they will want to get that in before the end of the fiscal year.
Yeah.
How many times did we launch? I remember that was my first year. We launched the
2DS?
No. It was DSi.
Oh, DSi.
DSi. There was always something right around my birthday, which is on March 28th.
Your birthday is close to the end of the fiscal year.
There was always some hardware launch. I'm like, man.
You and Reggie both had birthdays close to the end of the fiscal year. And
that's true.
Always, it was like we were always at some event for both of your birthdays because we were either launching something.
Yeah.
Then.
Guess what's happening in February? Pokemon Day. Oh, so now we can re-hit whatever game they're announcing. Oh, here it is, running on a Switch 2 Lite. Get excited to pick this up. Pick this up at the end of March so you can play these new games when they come out in the holidays. Wow. See, you can
you could message it that way for sure.
There's all these new layers of ways that you can start to promote this and get new audiences excited. It's like,
40th anniversary Zelda Switch Lite.
To the point about needing to get away from original Switch. Are these new Pokemon games even going to be on that system?
Maybe not.
So that's another reason where it's like, get these out of here.
And give them a reason for that huge Pokemon audience to get in on this generation.
Exactly.
By giving them another option.
That's a whole other reason. If we're building this here around these huge Pokemon games, get that old hardware out of here.
Because it probably won't run on it. I think ZA probably the last one that's dual Switch 1,
I would
Switch
be surprised
2.
if it's on.
By the end of this year?
On a flagship Switch?
A flagship Switch, yeah.
That's where you can do all this more colorful hardware that people are wanted, that appeals to maybe a younger audience. All of these limited editions that people have been wanting.
We did a lot more limited editions on a Switch Lite than we ever did on an original Switch as well.
Right.
So, yeah.
You mentioned the possibility of including bundled games. I think that's going to have to be some economics equation that they have of what is the right way to do it.
Bundling a game with it is like a gateway drug, basically. It's like you get them in with a taste.
Right.
But then they're hooked.
Right.
And then they'll pay $70 every single time. So
something else that they would often do is they would usually align the release of this new hardware with a new game. So I think the OLED launched alongside Metroid Dread. Yes. Did the Lite? I can't remember if the Lite came out. There was anything like, and it comes out on the same day as blank.
It didn't.
No. So, and that's an interesting question.
We had like a showcase of games that we were like just the holiday games.
Right.
For that year.
Yeah.
But it wasn't really until Animal Crossing that we started to pair the Lite with a game that we were like always showing with the Lite with Animal Crossing.
Right. Yeah. So maybe there wouldn't be necessarily a big game coming out day and date with it, but it just starts to become like a consistent message that they have, building up to the culmination of these Pokemon games. So again, not predicting this, not reporting this, not saying this is going to happen, but when you go through that whole scenario and the rationale and the potential...
there is some logic to it.
The potential schedule of all of this, it's like, okay, that isn't completely crazy.
It isn't. There is some logic to it. And again, Nintendo's doing the same mental gymnastics right now of figuring out the right time. It's not like a Switch 2 Lite is gonna come, but it's just them figuring out. They're going through this exercise that we're doing right now in this podcast of like, let's think about the game that's coming up. Let's think about the audience we're trying to get. Let's think about the audience we're losing out on because this is so expensive. Are we going to have to raise the price on this? And if so, how do we give people any kind of entry point into this generation? Yeah. They're doing that work and considering the right timing. And when you go through the logical steps, like this potentially could be one of many options that they consider. But again, we're not saying like this is definitely happening and look out for the announcement, in the next Nintendo Direct. But this is a possibility for sure.
I know people, with Nintendo love to look at the patterns of like, every blank years this is what happens. It's like I think this is a case where it's like it's good to know about the patterns, but it's good to expand the range of potential outcomes beyond just those things.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, the one, if I was to splash cold water in the face of this theory, here's what it is. So where are the leaks? If this thing's coming out in 2 months, why hasn't it leaked? Everything else leaked. So where is it?
Yeah, it could be that it's not coming. It also could be that Nintendo was so very, very mad.
They figured it out.
Legal team.
They solved it.
Was so very, very mad after what happened with the original Switch that they really did solve it. I don't know if that's the case, but they could. I mean, they're pretty mad though. They were pretty mad, so they probably did do a lot of work to try to plug up some of those those areas where leaks were happening. The manufacturers obviously were the biggest culprits of that.
You can try.
You can try.
You can try.
Don't know what they were doing over there. The legal team was very capable. that team is, those ninjas are very capable, so
Yes.
they could have found a way to stem, the biggest ones. Maybe as we get closer, yes, the more leaks will come. But yeah, they dealt with this significantly in the early parts of last year with Switch 2, so they may have really buckled down to try to stem these leaks and try to figure out a way to not have this happen again. So, that could be one reason, but the other reason could be like, it's not coming right now.
Yeah. So that's just one scenario. Again, if they choose not to do this, I do think they need to think of like what is the next big push that we're making to continue the momentum, because again, we spent the last couple episodes talking about this lineup. Like there's a lot of nice games, a lot of fine games, but I don't know if it's anything that's really like
a system
getting new potential new owners to just dive on this thing. I'm like, yes, I have to have it right now.
Yeah. The sense of like
until you get to Pokemon.
The sense of urgency is really not there for anyone that has not already purchased.
Right.
I think.
Right. And this is where like the mentality of the company is like, well, you might say like, oh, they're breaking records, they're selling so much, they're on Easy Street. It's like, no,
they're never on Easy Street.
That's when the tension gets cranked up to the highest point. It's like, we cannot let this stop.
And you always look over your shoulder.
Yeah.
Like that's a Mr. Iwata thing that he had drilled into us, is like, you're on top, but you're never safe.
Yeah.
If you're on top, more people are coming at you to drag you down.
Right.
So you better be looking over your shoulder, and you better be running faster.
Yeah.
And doing it better and sustaining it longer, because just because you broke one record at launch doesn't mean that you're resting for the next couple of years.
Yeah.
They're ratcheting up the expectations and the strategies of how to stay on top, because it's really hard to do that. Really, really hard. Yeah.
It is.
Wow. There you go.
Don't forget to subscribe on Patreon. We're at patreon.com/KittenKrysta. Use code KittenKrysta to get 25% off through the end of the month. Got a little bit of a ways to go on those $5 and $10 tiers. Just put out a Lego Party gameplay video. We got a great story from the reveal of Fire Emblem Awakening. Got a spoiler cast on the way. Great time to join.
Always a great time to
Yes.
join. We're also on the socials. We're on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Blue Sky, and Threads.
And if you're watching this video on YouTube, we'd love it if you could subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and leave us a comment. If you're listening on audio like Apple Podcasts and Spotify, you can also subscribe, give the podcast a 5-star rating, and leave us a written review if you really want to go the extra mile.
Okay, let's shout out some wonderful Patreon family members, starting with Aaron Hash, our fun.
There he is.
You were talking a great deal of Gran Turismo 7.
I gotta talk to somebody about Gran Turismo.
He knows all about Gran Turismo.
He does,
He's an expert, so he knows all about it. All right, superstars. Mara Mayhem.
Eigenverse.
Mike Chin.
Roy Eschke.
VGM Life.
Link the Hero of Wins.
Angela Bycroft.
Thomas O'Rourke.
Kyle LaBeouf.
Andrew Uhas.
Chili.
Crashuri.
Master Discord.
Travis Torline.
Echo Adair.
MSM Poke Gamer.
R. Burns.
Kit 10K.
Adrian.
Nathan Clover.
The Sharkama Men.
Rain Tech.
Kiss My Flapjack.
Paul Gale Network.
Cameron.
And Frederick Ulf Conradson.
Wow. And here come the One Up Club. Aaron Burgundy.
Abdul Al-Bajori.
Adam, the Number 9 Door.
Adcool 2000.
Age 1000.
Inevelith.
Ali Alejandro.
Alejandro Orozco Borrego.
Andrew Lobo.
Andy Robinson.
Angel Aid.
Angie Jojo.
Anthony Kager.
Aristu.
Art 64.
Astrodev.
Awesome 46.
Bino.
Barnstorm.
Bates.
Berserker.
Big and Gamer with a Y.
Blake Mitchell.
Bob Clayfin.
Brandon Cooper.
Brandon Kavapel.
Brent Dennison.
Brian Decker.
Brovak Novak.
Cashew.
Cedric Benson.
Chadir.
Chelly Squirrel.
Kai X.
Chris Fisher.
Crispy Saurus.
Christopher Lay.
Chunky Conga.
Colleen Finnegan.
Cosmic Titan 718.
Captain Alex.
Sea Roper 17.
Cynical Squid.
Daffers.
Dog the Leo.
Dallas Gow.
Dally Dinkum.
Dachshund.
Dave Sharp.
Dennis M2.
Debbie P.
And Dinkum and Poppy Com.
Doinko.
Dama Bomb.
Dre.
Dr. Saturn.
Juju Dad Life.
Eccentric Tony.
Edwin Makes Games.
Elite Peach.
Sparts 50.
You and Granny Boy.
Furbound.
Fernie and Just Forever.
Fox Deploy.
Funky Han.
Gabriel. Velez.
Gamer Likes Anime.
Gamer Nerd 78.
Garth the Wolf.
Gartooth.
Jeremy.
Gianni.
Jin Wolf.
Guilty Phoenix 42.
H3.
Heyo Jose.
Icon Snake.
Ira Bell.
Iris Marin.
It's your boy J-Hov.
Ivancito.
J. Rando.
Jameson Eisenberg.
James.
Jason Ball 34.
J. Bar.
Jeremy Swinnen.
Jim Wakeland.
Joe Encarnacion.
Jonathan Rowe.
John Conboy.
Jordan Hemmerly.
Joris.
Joseph Gunter.
Joshua Clements.
Juji Fruit.
Just Camtro.
Justin Lemminger.
J. Wolf.
Kalen.
Callan CPU 57.
Carblin.
Kawa 2796.
Oh.
Kind PVL.
Kind PVL. Okay.
Kevin Delane.
K. Cooper.
Kilo Kibo.
Kyle Gamer Berry Rookie.
Kyle 325.
Kyle Kretzer.
Kyle R. Smith.
Larry Fitzpatrick.
Lazy Cat for Coffee.
Leah Rao.
Lex.
Link 9898.
Linko.
Litton.
Louise.
Louis Hayabusa Kramer.
Luna B.
Lynn.
Matcha Potato.
Mac the Cat.
Nandog 5981.
Magnificent Easy G plus Kelly Marie.
Malcolm.
Mario Man 392.
Marky Man 64.
Mary Cohen Colson.
Nat GPT.
Maverick Nate.
Megan.
May plus Leon.
Michael Mazur.
Michael O'Hara.
Michael Wong.
Mikey.
Mikey Macaroni.
Mr. Rhino 7.
Motomania.
Mr. Andy Pong.
Mr. Beans and Dip.
Mr. Benji 101.
Mute Dog the Gamer.
My Tran.
Nasir.
Naife.
Nigbia Reeves.
Nasuchu.
Ninbendo 64.
Ninja 11.
Ninja Black Belt.
One of a Kind.
Oliver Went.
Omega Index Card.
Peggy.
Paper Boat.
Patrice Millette.
Peach Booty.
PokeDigiFan 20.
Prime Factor.
Prince Charmless.
Punky.
Quintet.
Rowan
Kwanov. Rob
Oh
M.
my gosh. Rob O.
Rob Yapel.
Robbie DLC.
Romsky 113.
Rocks.
RT64.
Ryan Haas.
Ryan Edda.
Sage Gamer.
Salkin 20XX.
Scott Seward.
Sebastiano Garase.
Sega.
Sharif Jackson.
Shinryu.
Shiny Elizabeth.
Slowbro.
Shump.
Schnozzle.
Spacey Poo.
Spicy Munchkin.
Star Fox Melancholy.
Stephen Rockoff.
Stuart Radley.
Pseudo Priest.
Switching it up underscore.
Tales of Link.
Tamer Rhymes with Hammer.
Tandem.
Tay120N64.
TCG N21P.
Teal Fox 64.
The Hyrule Hero.
The Keggers.
The Quiet
The
Ones.
Sarah T.
The Thomas Alvarez.
Three Rivers.
Tickle my dinkum!
Welcome to the newest subscriber, Tickle My Dinkum. Oh, you. Token 777.
Tom Shunk.
Torcheeks.
Totally Joed.
Todamaru.
Chajowie.
Trevor Collins.
Tug's Puppy Bear.
Tusku.
Tyler Geis.
Victor MK.
Vitch Mictor.
Vinny to the K.
Viridian.
Virtual Bot.
Waffles.
WG Grizzy.
Wicked Davy.
Zachary S.
Xanda.
Zelgaroth.
Zapatty.
Zero Link.
That's right.
Oh, boy.
I love it. Tickle my dinkum.
We will read what you write within reason.
Yes.
Yes.
Within reason.
And we will not put anybody ahead of Aaron Burgundy. So don't
No.
try putting a period.
Don't try putting a dot, period. Number, you can't.
Aaron Burgundy is grandfathered into the number one
That's
spot.
right. It's
Yes.
like when you get grandfathered
You just do.
on your cell phone plan.
You can't argue. You just do. Yes.
Wow, that was a monster podcast.
It really was.
We were playing so many games.
We did. Yeah. But it won't be Blastcore next week. So one
won't be-
less.
one less, yes.
One less.
More Dynasty Warriors
Yes,
Origins, though,
yes.
for sure. All right, we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.